was what?
Should the shot move up a bit? Just because the logo's hella like...
It should.
Let me move it up.
Hey guys, we're live. Andy's moving the shot. Let's see, how high can we go? Oh, a little lower. Yeah, there's a little fucking flaggy flag. We can move it though. Yeah. How you guys doing? Can you bring up the chat?
Oh yeah.
And then put it there. Thank you. I appreciate that. Andy, how have you been? I feel like I never see you anymore. I feel like our schedule's
But it's weird because I'm in the office more.
Yeah, our schedule's just working away that like.
Now you know what it feels like to live with him.
Well, with Greg being out, you've
doing
taken
a lot
the brunt of the load. Yeah. So
it's weird. I don't like that. I don't like it. I miss our friendship.
I miss him too.
We'll have to bring it back.
Oh, I miss Greg. I mean, I miss you too, I guess.
Yeah. Where the fuck is Greg?
Tim, Andy, and Fran. Did you guys see my Photoshop of Johnny Ace and Kevin? I just tweeted a Fran. No, I don't think I've seen it yet.
I have not. I've not. What's up, Demetrius? Can you control plus?
Get that text bigger.
I need it magnified.
Magnified.
There we go. I like that.
Gonna need to go home and do a little Tide stick on my.
Oh, what happened?
Got a little tomato stain. And then, in true Andy fashion, as I'm kind of soaping and washing it off, I'm like, "What's all that red?" Oh, I was just eating hot Fritos.
So you made it worse?
Andy Cortez, ladies and gentlemen.
It doesn't look too bad, but it's noticeable.
Oh, no, that looks fine. You're crazy.
But earlier, it was really, really bad.
Now, my fear is once you hit it with the water, the Tide stick won't do as much. You know what I mean?
Really?
That's my fear.
Science with Kev?
That's my fear.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that's true.
Water doesn't mix with any other compounds.
Other elevators and dogs.
You're scared of dogs?
Yeah.
Random dogs or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to say that I'm scared of them now, because I feel like I could fight most dogs that
when
come
Kevin
towards
was
me.
younger, he got attacked by a dog. He also got attacked by an elevator. So
I got
in an elevator.
Yeah.
I got stuck in an elevator.
Oh man, that's always.
Hold on, no. Here's the thing.
Mine.
He's not scared because he got stuck in an elevator. He's scared because he got stuck in an elevator with his mom. So it's like I get it.
It was a hard 2 hours. And you know what the the shittiest part is? Like I think at the time we lived on the second story, and it why would we take the elevator?
It was an elevator. Oh my god, that's even funnier. That makes the story way funnier. That it was a 2-story thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 4-story building.
Got it.
But they're just between 1 and 2.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
between a rock and a hard place.
Andy, where'd you get that
Kevin's
hoodie?
mom.
Our friend Mike from the Dallas Fuel sent it to me and Nick. He sent me and Nick a bunch of stuff.
Did Nick know what it was?
Did you just crack your neck, Kevin?
No.
That was okay, good. Because that was a very scary sound.
So this is like a long sleeve one that they.
Oh, dude, that's
and it says like
dope.
Dallas down the right side.
Cool.
Wait, you're wearing a long sleeve and a sweater on top?
And a jacket.
And a
Well,
jacket.
because I woke up, I went to sleep with the long
woke up
sleeve.
like this.
I went to sleep with the long sleeve underneath, and then I just kept it on. I didn't want to change. It was one of those that like
It's been very cold here.
Yeah,
in
Very
San Francisco.
cold. I was walking around outside and I was like, ooh, it's
it was
cold.
like 43 last night or some shit.
That's awful,
My heater
dude.
was on the highest. My little like fucking space heater.
Is your room, without the heater on, is your room like
It's
an icebox?
unbearable.
Yeah, it's
Unbearable.
an icebox.
It's really like.
Why were they so bad at building houses whenever they built them all?
To the point where I was playing Apex the other night and was on my bed playing, right, in front of my TV.
Were you also
And I
streaming?
was like, why is it so fucking... Did I turn off my heater? Like, no, it's still on. It's just
It's not strong enough.
battling enough against this room.
The cold is winning.
Yeah.
Nanobiologist says, Andy, you didn't do the chopstick method?
No. No, I did
The
not.
chopstick method is not a way to live.
I agree with you. I'm
Not a
more
way
of a
to live.
horseman myself.
Are we talking about Cheetos?
I just take
Yeah.
the thing and...
I introduced my parents to that method.
Hold on, Tim, can you do that again?
There you go.
Can someone gift that out?
He's
Yeah,
tickling
it's
the
like
balls.
the...
No, I wasn't.
What?
Uncrinkling it. You know when they, like... No,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
she
yeah. Get stuck
wraps
in
the
there.
bottom too much.
Tim,
I like to
that's
undo it.
just the name of the technique. I know it has nothing to do with testicles.
Testicles.
Bob Stoops is the head coach for the Dallas team of the XFL. Oh my God, that's really weird, Ant-Man. It's a weird little fact he just told me right there.
All right, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We just got a breaking news update via my Instagram DMs. Jackie Hollywood has sent me a message saying, save the date. June 2nd, my homeboy who owns Soma Street is throwing a cookie festival for my 30th birthday.
It's a long time away.
Bring the squad.
Soma's That's dope, though.
We're going to her 30th birthday, man.
We'll see
for the
about that.
cookie festival. Thank you very much.
That's such a long time away.
That is like
It'll be
save the date to
fine.
the extreme.
Yeah.
I gotta love it.
This is
Fucking
good,
4
Fran.
months
You
from
nailed
now,
it.
5 months from now.
Yeah?
I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
You're alive, yeah?
Hey,
But
she's
June
put it on the
2nd.
calendar, man.
Oh, man. What's up, Andy?
I loved you and Gia's interactions on Twitter yesterday about the fucking hot chips. So good.
Like, are those hot Fritos in their Instagram story? I was like, yes, stay the fuck away.
Like
Wait.
Gia loves hot.
I was going to say, I thought, because I saw that Instagram photo where she,
no, that's her, dude.
that's her.
That's
Wow.
her. She has an
She loves
obsession.
flaming
that
hot stuff.
Yeah.
I love flaming hot
Yeah,
stuff.
me too. But like it's nasty how much
Yeah.
she loves it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but Andy loves him as well. And Andy posted
We
a
get
picture.
snacks sent to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
From,
Gia
friend
was
of
jealous about it, and Andy was just like, "Stay the fuck away."
Even hot
because
Fritos are delicious.
I think it was Extra Life where she took home the giant carton of goldfish.
She
Yes.
just took it.
Yeah.
And it was like literally half
And
her
she
size.
could, there's more. She could take those.
Like, she took it. Did you hear the follow up to the story?
She brought it back, right?
She felt so guilty that she had me bring it back. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to bring this goddamn thing of goldfish back. So I left it on our counter. She got mad at me. She's like, you need to bring them back to Andy. And I'm like, okay.
There's two up top that you could take both of them. There's
I
too
don't
many
want 'em.
goldfish. Too many goldfish.
so many rules. Yeah,
Cheers.
I love flaming hot stuff. Cheers, man. Tim told me to make him it's actually an Americano with club soda. Well, it's actually LaCroix. So it's Campari, red vermouth, and soda.
What the fuck is Campari?
It's an Italian aperitif.
Bitter alcohol. It's
yeah.
delicious.
You want to taste it?
No, thank
don't
you.
have to- yeah, exactly.
I do not have a taste for
No.
hard.
Campari.
Yeah,
I
whatever
don't think Tim
Campari
does
is.
either. Is
No,
my
I'm fine
guess.
with this.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's meant to be. It's like sort of like a. Yeah, it's like before dinner kind of.
Campari is where the Jedis are in episode 9.
Exactly. Kento, what's going on? Also, this is a good question for the pre-show.
Yes.
I don't like AC/DC. I respect if you do. I don't condemn people who like, AC/DC. But
you
I don't really
can't-
like them. I think
you
they're
don't-
overrated.
come on.
The sound of AC/DC.
You don't fucking mean that.
You
band?
guys- yes, the band.
I think it's hard.
Not an Assassin's Creed of some kind.
I think it's hard.
I thought that too.
No, I think it's hard to not like them.
I do like them.
But
you
here's
play
the thing.
guitar,
I don't even say that I would put them on to like listen to them. They're just a band that I accept that exists.
They have iconic
See?
tunes.
You know?
Nobody's crazy about them, man.
But
I love
it's,
'em.
it's a really like they really pump you up like
Yeah.
in Iron Man or like I feel like a lot of movie trailers use AC/DC for
Here's
good
the thing.
reason because
Back
they're
in
iconic.
Black, Thunderstruck,
Sure.
right? What,
You know.
what else we got here?
That one song with the TNT.
Highway to
I'm
Hell.
dynamite.
That's
TNT.
Isn't that Iron Maiden?
No, that's AC/DC.
Oh, yeah, right. That is AC/DC. Yeah, I don't like the sound of his voice.
It's catchy.
They also have
I do like the guitar shit, though.
Right?
Their riffs are good. The sound in general is good. But I think they're overrated. It's like if
I think
you were.
you're overrated.
Kevin likes them.
I think.
But
I
anyway,
feel
it's
like they're
come up a
rated
few times.
Yeah,
appropriately.
me too. I think it's hard to
No,
say
I
that-
think people like love them sometimes.
Is
I'm
the
like,
dude in
I
a little
love 'em.
outfit?
I don't know.
I bet that anybody that says they love them, like not anybody, but most people that say they love them
can't,
couldn't
man.
name more than 5 songs.
Shoot to Thrill.
Probably.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shoot to Thrill. That's Johnny Ace's song.
That's their. Oh man. See, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I didn't say I didn't like them though.
How do you feel
I'm
about
pretty
Johnny Ace?
Open-minded. Johnny Ace.
Yeah.
Verdict is still
real
out.
piece of work.
We've already talked about
But
this.
he's
how
from Malta.
I am the
so
reason that he exists.
He's not from Malta.
I think that
He would not exist without me.
I thought he's from Malta. He
No,
wouldn't exist
he's
without
not.
you.
He likes to go to Malta.
Andy created he birthed
excuse.
him
There was an episode of Party
Party
Mode
Mode.
where we played Hot Shots Tennis.
Yeah.
on PS2.
And we're just playing.
But I mean, he's a real
It was a
person. What
fun
do you mean?
episode. And then
So
Nick
confused.
hits a shot and he goes, "They call me Johnny Ace."
Right.
And I cut to this like silly graphic of like
Oh.
Nick on what's his name? Rafael Nadal's body with like the headband and the glasses and like a crazy like a guitar riff,
Yes.
Johnny Ace. And then I was like,
He's
oh,
just
I'm
like a
going to do
little
this thing. So when
yeah.
we play Mario Tennis, you got to bring the character back, right? We're
Right.
going to make a character right here. And I've never regretted anything more.
Yeah.
And here we are.
You've created a monster.
He's never affected you directly.
He's affected us.
Game
all.
jumper.
Yes, he has.
Oh.
Yes, he just
He's
gets
only
he just
made
gets
your
in my
life
face
better.
so close, Kevin.
This is a good call.
He
Tim.
does get close. Yeah, this is good.
We had a discussion.
A
I was
little
like, I don't.
pre-Gamescast
Yeah,
juice.
I've been the pre-GC juice. Yeah, I was kind of like on a trajectory. We did Games Daily this morning.
It was a
and
good
then-
one today.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, and went home. I had to like pick some stuff up on the way home. Then I streamed for a few, and then I was like, I'm gonna be late, and then rushed back, and I didn't eat lunch like an idiot, and I stole your chicken nuggets.
It's all good, man.
So this is bringing me down to where I need
the
to
nugs,
be.
right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
We have a
if you
nug
go
policy.
to McDonald's, you need
You got
to
to
bring those
back
with.
at least 40 nugs.
Yeah.
Friend, I
it's
never-
40. I haven't heard the number.
I never follow the rule. I never follow it. I just forget.
30.
I
You just
forget.
don't do it.
Yeah.
He doesn't forget. There's no way.
I just forget, dude.
You just don't do it.
But also,
He says he
but
forgets.
also, here's the lazy thing about me is like, I know I can expense him. I know I can get paid back for him, but it's the process of doing that.
Oh yeah, that's
You know,
right. You got. The
I still
company-
haven't expensed the
company
stuff from
account.
fucking Arizona.
Yeah.
When will I
You
ever
do
do
it
that?
at
I don't
the
know.
same
There was an
time.
Uber on the way to London that I never expensed.
Yeah.
Because I just forgot, and it's
too.
just I hate
That's
it.
just how it goes.
No, you gotta like have some screenshot program for that.
Yeah.
Well,
So
no,
much
here's
work
one thing I
to
need to do.
get
I
your
need to
money
get
back.
much
What do you
I
do?
need to get the
It
company
is.
card on the Uber. That
Yeah.
way, there's
Oh, yeah.
that's
So
one less
easy.
thing I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to worry
Do it right
about.
now.
That's
It's
easy.
a company card.
Yeah, we got a company
they're a
card.
company.
You know, I'll
Hey.
just use it for nugs. Just
Yeah, dude. Hey, nugs, man. That's
you
all
can
good.
trust me.
Nugs are important, man.
Apex Legends hit 10 million players.
Did anything happen between Games Daily and this today, Tim? Like gaming wise, I haven't had a chance to like freaking look.
I haven't looked either. I was doing debatable.
This
Getting
isn't
fucking
a, this
double
isn't a
checking.
new show. This is why we love games, friend.
That's why we love games.
And what games
man.
do for
always
us
an
in our
issue.
lifestyle.
Plus those things for me. I mean, I agree with you in general, but
On Games Daily today, Andy, there was some story about Anthem.
there was
and
no date.
of what?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Oh.
And I don't know, it doesn't matter. One of the guys, one of the big wig Anthem EA guys, was talking about what they're trying to do with Anthem's like DLC plans or
endgame
whatever.
stuff, yeah.
And the way he talked, I'm like, this sounds like Andy making fun of people. He's like,
Doing the
what we're
E3
doing
talk?
here is ambitious. It's innovative. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
It was
every
Andy's
time I played
character.
Anthem and like I would turn a corner and this is Anthem. Anthem is an open world where you can experience. All right, what I always my go-to line was like, where the caves are deep and your enemy's secrets are deeper.
That's exactly it. That's pretty good.
What's the news?
Oh, we were talking about how many people played Apex. 2.5 million players hit it within 24 hours.
No, it's 10 million.
Oh, you already saw it then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they
Well,
said
he
it in the
said
chat.
Oh, they said it in chat.
Yeah.
Wait,
the
when did
nanobi-
you say
the
it?
nanobiologist?
He said it like right before you said, oh,
It was
it's
already news.
Oh, I was reading it as you said it. Super, but there you go. So that was within 3 days. So that's interesting.
Total, right? Not concurrent, obviously.
Not concurrent, yeah. So
Colonel's
they had
600K or
600,000. That was the first day. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if they said anything about concurrence, but I mean, those are, I would say they're expected at this point because it is gaining traction as a popular thing. But we'll see how long it lasts. I think it's got legs, like we talked about.
We're going to talk a lot about that
Yeah,
today.
we're talking about Apex.
Baby.
Exactly. We'll save it.
Where we at,
How
Kev?
much of Division did you play?
Today, I mean, I went home and streamed it for 35 minutes.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
that's all.
I played like an
13
hour and a
minutes.
half.
Okay,
How much?
nice. I'm going to play tonight.
13 minutes.
Cool. We'll hang out a little bit
You're on
longer
PC
here in
only,
the
right?
pre-show.
Yeah. No, I might play on console. What are you playing on?
I'm playing on console.
I might because, well, I definitely want, like Greg and I used to play.
PS4. PS4.
Yeah, it's 60 frames. And I know it's not that I am against it. It's just it's a different world.
It
to
just
come
sounds
back
like
to.
you're against it, is all I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, Kevin.
Kebab says, Tim, what do you think of the CD album I sent you guys? Do you like the tracks I picked? You did a great job, man. Love the cover art. That's fantastic.
Apparently, there are some. I haven't told him this yet, Kebabs, because I got here very late. Apparently, there's some secrets
Shit.
on the album.
Oh, shit.
He said, "Tell Tim that there are some like Easter eggs."
Okay, I need to check that out.
I'm a little
That's
scared.
cool. Although I will say, and I know that this is a very fucking douchey thing for me to say, I'm not a fan of when people make fan art of us and don't give me blue eyes. It really bothers me.
They didn't give
What,
you blue
what color
eyes.
eyes
Brown
do they
eyes.
give you?
Brown,
Brown
think you have
eyes.
brown
Whoa.
eyes.
Multiple times people give me these brown
Wow,
eyes.
maybe
I'm
that's
like,
a reference
I
photo
ain't
or
your
something.
brown-eyed girl. No.
That is strange, actually, that they'd go through all the like detail of
Yeah.
like, looking at you.
Yeah.
and it's not your eyes.
The blue eyes thing is like, you know,
I can
Yeah,
fix
that's
it.
your
part
signature.
of it. You could
I can
fix
fix
it.
it.
Yeah.
I can fix that. Remember that Holes, Kevin? Good movie.
Yep.
Holes is a good movie.
Shia
Little
LaBeouf,
eyes.
dude.
Remember?
We've talked about holes way too many times today.
Remember when he was like,
What?
I can fix that, and you know that they were talking
Yeah.
about banging?
Yeah.
Because she had a lonely heart.
Oh, I thought you were talking about her plumbing. The other plumbing.
Yeah, you guys talk about holes and plumbing. I'm so confused.
Holes, the movie.
The movie Holes, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
It was a book.
Man, it's pretty good. Do you want me to find
I
out where
read
you can stream
books,
it?
Jerry.
I didn't read the fucking book. It's a good movie.
yeah.
It's
You
a
call
good
him
movie.
Jerry?
It's heartwarming.
No, that's one of my favorite Seinfeld quotes. Yeah. See, you knew. Andy knew.
Oh.
Elaine's like talking about her bizarro friend. She meets like another group just like Kramer. and all that.
Yeah, that was weird.
And Jerry's like, well, what's so great about them? It's like she's like, they read, Jerry. And he's like, I read. She's like, books, Jerry. And then he's like, oh, big deal. That's all he reads is Superman comics, obviously. All right, what do we?
Kebabs fix your eyes.
Oh shit!
On the
What's
cover.
the kebabs?
Like the main art, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah, yeah.
had
Hey,
brown
Fran,
eyes.
Thank you, Kebabs. I
do
appreciate
you
that.
have HBO?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get HBO now when Game of Thrones comes on. So
the game?
Would you have it now?
You watching
not
True
this
Detective?
second.
Okay, so
I
you
am
don't
not
have
watching
it.
the new True
No.
Detective. No. What's
Okay.
up, Kevin?
Well, because you can watch Holes on HBO.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and then
don't
you
have
can watch
time
True
for that.
Detective after that.
I don't have time.
I can't. If we could stream what we're watching, Andy, the problem would be solved.
True Detective's a
Can't
fucking
do it.
must watch.
I do want to watch. I watched the first season. I skipped the second because people said they
Good.
didn't love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, just skip
smart.
it. And 3 is who's the main star?
Mahershala Ali. Oh, it's back
Who?
to form. Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali.
He's in the fucking Moon movie where they go to the astronaut space program, the one that beat out.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I didn't see it, but okay.
Yeah. And he's also in Alita
Moonlight.
Battle Angel. He's the main villain, and he was the main character's dad in Madden's "It's a Long Shot, It's a Long Shot."
Oh,
Ooh. Yeah, remember that? Remember that? No. Good story stuff. It was only 6 hours. Long Shot made me cry several times. Dude.
Long shot?
Long Shot, the Madden
Madden's
story.
campaign mode.
Oh no, yeah.
Madden
I saw the
Post
trailers
Malone.
for it back in
Yeah.
the day, obviously, but I never.
It's a good story, Kevin.
I'm not a Madden campaign.
I mean,
player.
neither am I, but it's like a really heartwarming story.
Nanobiologist says, Fran, Apex
saw
Legends
that.
has hit 1 million concurrents.
What's the source
wow.
on that? That's big. That's a big. That's a lot. of people
Nanobiologist
know.
is reliable. We trust him.
Okay.
We trust him implicitly.
T and B.
T and B.
I like my acronyms. Makes it easy.
Nasha Rojas says, Tim, why do you hate on High School Musical? I don't hate on it. I just feel like
sucks.
it does not suck. I just feel
the
like there's
worst.
a lot of movies that are better than it.
It's a fucking long shot. Scott Porter is in it too.
Oh,
What it is?
Scott.
Scotty P.
I feel like. Am I imagining? Is he a big Destiny player? I feel like I met him.
You've met Scott.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And he is a big Destiny.
He's a
player.
big gamer. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know
About
exactly
Destiny
what
So
games
no,
he
he's a
plays.
big Destiny player,
Yeah, okay.
and I've met Scott. Yeah, so friend of the fam.
Tim, were you watching the ending of Speed Racer recently?
Yeah?
Okay, because I opened up the YouTube thing, and somebody under the Gamescast account was watching.
Oh,
But,
no,
like,
that wasn't me.
Oh no,
No, that was a long time ago, Kevin.
Are you sure?
Yeah, our
'Cause I
view history has been
no,
like
no, no.
paused
I
forever.
went to his. Oh, really?
Every time I go into our our YouTube, that Speed Racer video is always there. It's the last thing watched, but that was like almost a year ago, Kevin.
What
really
Speed Racer
funny.
video?
How do you
is
know it
this?
was almost a year ago?
Because I've seen it
Too
there
long story.
forever.
No, just Speed Racer, the movie. Like,
Oh.
like it's just a clip somebody looked at on YouTube.
Oh.
But like we all share the Kind of Funny account, so it's like you can
So
you
it's,
can
like,
totally tell
suggested.
who watched what.
There's just K-pop filling. The,
I mean,
somebody's
honestly,
probably a
it's like
K-pop
it's
fan.
pretty clear
Yeah.
when
Who watches
Joey's on
what?
it versus when Nick's on it.
Or
That's
Cool
all I'll
Greg.
say.
Very.
Ah, yeah, you
Cool
really,
Greg, especially,
Yeah.
you know.
You should not give Nick access.
I had
to
to ask my dad to remove my YouTube channel from because I used my because I have YouTube
At
Red.
home?
So I use it on my dad's TV.
Yeah, and
to
he
show him
started
stuff without
watching
ads.
stuff.
No. My nieces and nephew. Oh my god, it's all these like fucking like 4-year-olds with Let's Plays that have 8 million views each.
Oh,
and it's like we're playing Roblox or whatever, and it's like my whole feed and all these suggested things. I was like, God damn it! I
ruined my
I
suggested
started like
videos.
clicking like, don't recommend this to me anymore. Don't
Yeah.
recommend. And
I
I finally told my dad like, can you please take off the account?
That's actually interesting because they ruin your like viewing history, which sometimes there are good recommendations.
Yeah.
I think you can go back and remove stuff entirely, which might improve it. But what it's like work at that point.
It's definitely helped a
You
bit,
might
but
go back.
my problem with it, it was more of an annoyance at first, but then recently, I got the Razer laptop that Razer sent me, and I got a new solid state drive and a bigger solid state drive. So I'm like, I'm gonna install it, but I need to get Windows on it. And Kevin was kind of helping me, giving me advice. So I looked at this video of like how to flash Windows from a flash drive onto your new solid state drive. Even though my laptop only has one slot, so it's kind of a weird process.
Yeah.
And I had this video, I was like, oh, perfect. It gives me everything I need to know. Let me save that or whatever. It's in my history. And then like 2 days later, it was just so many fucking videos that auto-played. And I'm scrolling like, where is this goddamn video?
You didn't see it, but
Yeah,
didn't watch
it's hard.
later.
Yeah, it was so annoying.
Dude, YouTube Premium, man.
Yeah, I
They
don't
got
use
me.
it.
They
Yeah?
fucking got me. It's like there was a free month trial, and like I wanted to watch one of the YouTube Red shows, which I guess now are just called YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Because I think
didn't
YouTube Red was rebranded entirely to just YouTube Premium.
okay.
And there was a
Makes
free
sense.
month trial, and I tried it, and I'm just like, I'm in love with it so much. I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm paying this every month now. It's been like 4 months, and I
So
totally
you've
think
watched
it's
more
worth
than
it.
one show on there.
It's not even. I have watched more than one of
is
those
it-
shows, but it's more.
ad-free?
It's ad free,
Oh, it's-
which is super
yeah.
nice, and you can play the YouTube videos and turn your phone
And music.
off.
Oh, and
like
the
music
videos,
keeps playing.
too.
Yeah.
And the music.
So you don't
That's
need to be
really
like
cool.
signed in, and that's super
That's
awesome.
a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly.
there's so many
Music.
times where I see a video and I play it and an ad plays. I'm like, oh, I'm on one of the Kind of Funny accounts. Let me
Yep.
switch over. Fuck that.
And then on
I
top
feel
of that,
like it's doubled down too. Like I've gotten so much more ads now than
Yeah.
ever before. Like even now when I pause a video and I go back to it, an ad will play beforehand, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Damn, you pricks!"
it's also
Is it
great.
$10 a month or something?
I think it might
10.
be 15.
It might be.
Is it
actually.
10?
I
think
actually
it's still
every
10.
time I try to log in, it gives me the you can get 1 month
yeah.
free. and
Yeah.
I'm like maybe later.
I think it's still 10. I hope.
But
so.
what's great about it is it gives creators way more money than ads ever will. So that's another cool
Does it
thing.
actually?
So
So-
much, dude. Like us on our side, I would say any video that we have, we make 5 times as much from people watching.
YouTube Red views.
From people
The
watching on
cut has
YouTube
been pretty
Premium
good.
than
that's good.
versus ads.
Yeah, because it's taken a while to stabilize that out, but if that's hard for me to believe actually. I'll
Well,
have
it's
to
great
look
for
at
us
that
because
after.
our watch time is
Yeah, well,
so
sure.
long, and then that's how they pay you. So
Interesting.
YouTube Premium people watching our podcast for an hour will get us a lot more revenue than just a random ad playing, even an ad playing 10 times throughout the video.
And that's the way it should be. Like subscription money
Mm-hmm.
should be that type of model versus just like any ad, then it's better for everybody, right? So,
yeah, it's cool.
interesting.
oh, it's a good back pop.
All right, where we at, Kev?
I was trying to see how much it costs, but
Just kind of enjoying the Campari.
here we go. Get
21
YouTube
we're good.
Premium. Try it free. Oh, it's $15.99 a month.
That's too
Whoa,
much.
that's
Yeah,
more than I thought.
$15.99. It says a 1 month free trial, and then it's $15.99.
Or you
lot
save
for me
money
here
with
in the
it.
U.S.
But I feel like there's like a family plan option and that might be that. 'Cause
Maybe.
there is cheaper
oh yeah,
ones
or
and-
save money with a family membership.
Yeah.
Family
Are you-
is
Are you in a family
$22.99 a
membership
month
with
though.
someone?
I might be.
It's
I might
20.
be with Finnegan.
So that's what it is. You've been 6 family members in that plan, and then there you go, $22.99.
It's like we have
Wait,
the
so if you just
Spotify
do it
family
with
plan.
friends, you could have a family
Yeah.
plan. That's such a
Guys,
weird.
I think we're making a commitment right now.
Yeah.
Such a
the,
weird.
the problem is, and like originally I just was like, oh, we'll just do it on the Kind of Funny account, then we're all good. You can't do it for business accounts. So that's really annoying. Like if you
You just gotta switch your account, man. It's pretty easy to switch accounts that you're browsing on.
No, but I'm saying if we had Kind of Funny, then all of us could have it.
Oh, right, all right. I
But,
see.
yeah, that's not. All right, let's get this show on the road. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 208 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by two of my favorite people in the world. We got Andy Cortez and Fran Mirabella.
We're sitting really close to each other.
It's good. It's really, you guys
I
don't
just
really
Andy
know.
do that.
Well, it's because like when we do GOG, like Nick's over here.
Yeah, he's
or-
like off the
Yeah,
table.
he's like
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, he's
just,
like, leaning
I
in,
hate that
like, what's
angle,
up,
man.
guys?
I hate that angle.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
liked
good.
it.
It's real good.
I like the 3/4 view. You know.
Just
Isometric is what they call it in,
Man,
in the
yeah.
biz.
I didn't know
in the
Andy was
biz.
going to be on today. I'm excited.
Yeah, I didn't either until like yesterday. And I was just like,
Perfect.
you know what? We should. This is going to be a great show to have you guys on specifically. Greg still gallivanting the world. Jared,
That
R.I.P.
Greg Miller.
I heard he died. It's crazy.
What?
And
Miss him.
Oh, well, you guys fired him.
he was
Just
yeah, he was
talk about
fired.
it.
Yeah. But we're figuring all that
The
stuff
ongoing
out.
joke.
Also, we know that the intro still has Jared in it. There's not much we can do about that right now because we have way too much going on. We are going to change that soon.
I think keep it
Ish.
for a while. You
mean,
know?
like,
Like,
keep it
it's
for a
still
while.
Yeah.
It took a while of having him on the show before we.
I'm
added him
hoping
into
to have the new intro.
No, that's not true, Kevin. It was ready day one.
Yeah, no, that's not the.
Don't worry
it was
about it.
ready day one.
The
We
more
didn't
important-
have it put in.
That's right.
For several weeks.
Yeah.
The more important fact, I was not in the intro on my shows for several till I got
And it's always going to be, it's
Yeah,
just,
that's just how it
there's
is.
a lot going on. But
There's a
I will
delay.
say,
There's a delay.
I'm hoping we have the new version done by March.
Yeah, March sounds fine.
March.
Yeah.
There's some cool things we're working on.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, because
you'll
you have to
see.
like
You'll-
announce if there's any changes with
Exactly.
the intro
We're
or
still
whatever.
working on a
That's
couple
enough.
things here and there and whatevs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny Games cast each and every week right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. We get together, talk about video games, all the things that we love about them. You can get the show early by going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. And if you are at the silver membership level, you get the show early. How early? You can be watching live right now as we record it every Thursday. Or you can just get the video and audio early on Friday. Or if you don't want to give us money, That's cool. I don't recommend not giving us money, but hey, if that's how you want to live your life, Monday, 6 a.m., youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and podcast services around the globe. Just search for Kinda Funny Gamescast. I love you. There's just a stupid level of humor that I feel like me and you share.
No, it's because like
when it
around
comes to
the globe.
table. Yeah.
No, but no, Greg does the around
He
the
does.
globe
I
on
think
Games
he
Daily.
does.
On Games Daily. And then
No,
one
he
time,
doesn't.
No, he
yeah, he
definitely-
does.
no,
he
he
does
doesn't.
something.
He doesn't.
No.
There's some.
Yes, he does.
No,
I don't know.
he-
There's a tap of
he
some kind.
says like on
Oh,
podcast
no.
servers around the globe,
No,
I
know
go
what
like
it is.
this.
No, guys. I know what it is, by the way. It's not his hand. He grabs paper. It says
Oh,
around the globe.
But at
he
one
does
point,
the paper
at
tap.
one point, me and Greg
Paper
went
tap.
the globe, and we like clapped, and then we snapped one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I remember now that it was like the paper.
I hit
Okay.
marimbas.
Okay.
Mannerisms.
Fucking marimbas out in this bitch.
Tim had marimbas on the show today.
You guys supported us so much in the month of January that we're doing a whole world tour. You can see details on that stuff at kindoffunny.com/events. Fran, you've been on the show now for a couple weeks. Some of
Yeah.
the best episodes we've ever made. I feel.
Thank you.
You know, and it feels like the people.
think it's been a
agree
month,
as
actually.
well.
It's sad to say goodbye, Fran.
Yeah,
Is it-
this is it. This is it. No, but
They
we
were
got
talking
a
about
show.
intros with the show.
We got a show that I feel today is perfect to have you two gentlemen on. We're going to be talking about Rage 2 that you got to see,
Yeah.
Division 2, Anthem, Apex Legends. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
A lot of shooting going on.
Star-studded show.
A lot
Let's
of
get-
shooting games, a lot of getting confused with controls. Like,
Perfect.
I was
it's
playing
like
the other
bouncing
game
back
the
and
other day.
forth
Definitely.
between it.
Yeah.
Between all those.
But before,
Kingdom Hearts 3 for you as
Yeah,
well.
before we get to all that, I want to talk a little bit about Kingdom Hearts 3. The update from last week, I am now a lot closer to the end than I was before. I only have one more Disney World to get through. I'm in Big Hero 6 land,
Oh, San
aka
Francisco.
San Francisco. It's very cool.
How many
I like it a
hours
lot.
would you say you've played
I'm
so
like
far?
22 in,
Oh.
I would say.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I think I from what I hear, I have about 8 left.
So it's not insanely long.
No,
Maybe it's a
no,
30
no.
to 40 hour game.
Yeah, everyone that I know that's beat it has been around the 30-hour mark. Some a little less, some a little more.
Yeah.
I feel like my game clock's pretty accurate. Like there was one time I accidentally left it on,
Yeah.
but
whatever.
maybe
yeah.
I had 15 minutes or something.
22.
to
That's
that.
still plenty of time. And were you like a big fan of the previous ones? Like,
Of Kingdom
was
Hearts?
this-
Yeah, I went into a lot more details last week
Okay,
on
I missed
my
it.
initial impressions, but everything I said last week stands, and it just kind of continues. I'm very excited to finish this, go home and play. I'm hoping to wrap it up. I wanted to beat it by today, but that just didn't happen.
Story of our lives.
What's
Yeah,
making
exactly.
people finish faster than, like, is it them free roaming or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the game's fairly linear. It's actually very linear, which I appreciate. But there is a lot of like side things you can go off and do. None of them I'm not really going to do. There's one thing that I like, which is the hidden emblems that are the hidden Mickey signs that are just all around the world. And if you collect or take pictures of enough of them, you get to unlock the true secret ending. I'm not going to do that though. If I don't get enough in my natural playthrough, I'm just going to watch it on YouTube. Like,
Yeah, smart move.
yeah, exactly. But
Are
playing
you
through,
understanding the story at all?
so here's the thing. I said this last week, and I've said it on a couple shows. The story's not hard to understand. It's just not good. Like that's my problem. I know it's not a popular opinion among everyone, and like I've never seen a game more divisive than this. It's insane. The fan base is so ravenous for this franchise.
Right.
I feel like you're just not allowed to have any criticism whatsoever. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I love this game. I'm having such a great time with it. It's super fun. The combat's rewarding and cool, and like there's so much about this that's polished and really feels like a lot of love and care was put into it. But I have a multitude of criticisms for it that I feel are very fair, and it's not just comparing it to modern games and being like, oh, well, it doesn't hold up here. Because a lot of people are like, oh, you keep saying it's like a PS2 game. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but
Not a good thing.
in a lot of ways, like there's real, I'm not just saying that as like a boilerplate, like easy answer of like, oh, it's dated. It's like, no, like it's very floaty. Thankfully, there's not much platforming, but the jumping and camera and stuff is not that great.
So there is platforming. Yeah, like I'll be
Very,
I don't-
very, very light.
Still like a little.
A lot less than Kingdom Hearts 1 for sure. But it just kind of feels, specifically story-wise, right? This has always been a problem with the franchise. The Disney stuff feels like it gets in the way of everything else. Like, especially in this one, all the games have been leading to this. This is supposed to be like the climax of this story that's been building for now 20 years, right? With all this huge cast of characters that you either know or you don't know. But the thing is, like, do I understand the story? I do, because they really beat you over the head, like, to make sure you know everyone. It kind of reminds me of like Game of Thrones, where like there's so many characters, and it's crazy to look at it now and be like, oh, I could name all of them, or at least I could be like, that's the Red Witch.
Here's the beef. Here's what these
it's
people
like,
are
I don't know
angry at each
her
other.
name,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, I know who they are. I know what they're doing.
And it's
I
that
know
way in Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
like that many characters that are.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I never had
Characters
time to
within
get
characters within characters of like, in my heart, there's 3 other hearts, and you know, it gets very ridiculous and it's
sounds
convoluted, but it's
yeah.
like every time something's weird, they explain it over and over and over and over. Like, you'll know that this character has 3 hearts in his heart because he'll say that 1,000 times, and then Don will be like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah. Sounds exactly like him.
But going through this, it's like, you know, 20 years of the story building. Like, it feels weird to be like, it's not like there's a world-ending threat, but it definitely feels like the bad guy. There's a big deal bad thing going on, and it has never felt right and still doesn't feel right to be like, but we're gonna help Rapunzel do this thing.
Sure.
Even though there's a big thing going on.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to put that on hold because Remy from Ratatouille needs some ingredients. So let's get him some food. You know what I mean?
So you think it's just like shoehorned in?
It's not that it's shoehorned, and it's always been this way. So that's the thing, is it's like there's a nostalgia to this game that I love, where it's like it feels like a simpler time of playing games. And like the Disney stuff, the Disney worlds themselves, each are about 2.5 hours. They're really enjoyable, and like there's a lot of fan service put into it. Most of the voice actors are the original voice actors from the Disney movies, so like having them back is cool. Awesome. And I feel like the biggest compliment I can give the story elements of the game are, I feel like they do a really good job. And this is not exclusive to the Disney side. This is also with the Kingdom Hearts exclusive characters. They do a good job of making each character act the way that they should and speak the way that they should. So it's like when you see Hades from Hercules interacting with characters, it feels straight out of the movie, even though he's saying and doing things that weren't in the movie, you know? Versus when you see Axel, who's one of the Kingdom Hearts Organization 13 characters, like he has all of his catchphrases and he has his lines and he has the way that he interacts with people. And it's like they really stay true to each character's kind of archetype, you know? And like that stuff's cool to see because there's a lot of Disney magic there, and at this point, there's a lot of Kingdom Hearts magic. Like there is memories tied to these characters that, you know, I grew up seeing in a bunch of different games, and like they all have, and it does get very convoluted and ridiculous. But it's like that's part of the charm of it. You know, it's like this is one of those games where you're either gonna know you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. Like there's no in between. It is fun, I think, for anybody, though. I don't know anybody that's played this game and hasn't said it's fun.
I bet it's got to feel refreshing to not have to like unlock towers or like any sort of open world thing that we're sort of used to in single player games nowadays, where it seems very linear. It's just fight to the next cutscene, fight to the next cutscene. But I have been seeing these gummy ships. What the hell are these
Gummy
about?
ships have always been an issue in the franchise. That's it's like that's how you get to the different worlds. You fly this little gummy bear ship that Chip and Dale help you make. It's great.
Perfect.
Like
Makes perfect sense.
Just alls.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's best in this game than it's ever been. But every time I have to do it, I'm just like,
Wait, do you fly the ship or they just
you fly the ship? It kind of feels like Star Fox. Like,
okay,
you're in a light Star Fox. This game has a lot of mini games.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I've heard. It has a lot of like sort of call it cutaway to a new like simple but
gameplay.
Fun mechanic maybe, but mini game type stuff all over. So it sounds like it's got flying, a little bit of platform occasionally. It's got just mini game stuff.
Like cooking.
Sure, it's got slots. Okay, it's got cooking.
Yeah,
it's just got everything.
It's everything in kitchen sink, which it's what it's always been.
But that's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Damn, I want to see the ESPN 30 for 30 on this fucking game so bad because it's like, again, like 12 years of just development hell.
It's not, though. See, that's the thing. There's a misconception about the franchise and about Kingdom Hearts 3 in particular. This game was announced in 2013. Announced.
Yeah.
It didn't exist before then. All the other games, that they're not like spin-offs, they're titles in the franchise. They're just not numbered. Yeah. You know? But like Kingdom Hearts 3 was not delayed. Kingdom Hearts 3 was not.
Yeah, there was just a break before they announced it, and then it took 5 years.
It was announced at E3 2013. And so it's like that's the thing, is like this game is modern. which is kind of the craziest
Yeah,
thing.
I see,
Is
I
that
see.
this wasn't an old game? This was a new game.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's not too far off the path of both God of War and Red Dead Redemption, and they all were in development similar times, time periods.
Yeah, about 6 years or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, to your earlier point, and that's what I've heard. It's like this is for Kingdom Hearts fans. It's got that quirk to it, and it is a bit archaic feeling at times.
But the thing there is like,
but that's what it is.
I do feel like it's for more than just Kingdom Hearts fans. I feel like you can now become a Kingdom Hearts fan playing this game. Like this one, it's as much an entry point as 1 or 2 were. Like,
but like
you're not going to be lost. Like you can jump in and still not like it.
I'm less worried about that, but I mean mechanically, why should I play this game?
The combat's
or
fun.
should I?
The combat is fun. The combat's
fun?
rewarding. It is a lot of different systems that are overwhelming at first, but then you get into a flow where once you're a couple worlds in and like you're actually facing like a horde of enemies of Heartless running at you, it's jumping from 1 to 1 to 1. It's like you feel like you're controlling a cutscene, but you're controlling it.
Yeah. Is it context sensitive?
A lot of that, and Kingdom Hearts
timing.
Like quick time event type things, but
little like Paper
but
Mario
not in the negative way. It's not like people use QTEs as like an insult. But Kingdom Hearts 2 was really that, and God of War was what I think popularized that type of gameplay mechanic. That alongside Resident Evil 4, but I feel like Kingdom Hearts had always done it in a way that's like we're gonna keep things moving and keep them flashy. The combat is fun and flashy. And it's like, to me, that's cool. That's the core of this. And it's like, there's always some fireworks going on. There's always some craziness, but you always understand why. You always feel like you're in control of making those things happen. And again, it's fun. Like at the end of the day, it's fun. And seeing these characters interact the way that they do is really cool. The polish is unreal, which is why when things are off, it feels extremely noticeable. And yeah, there was a bunch of complaints that I went over last time, but like there was a weird moment, and I like Frozen as a movie. I like Let It Go. I like all this stuff.
You tweet about this.
Like I feel like people hate on it because it's popular, But
bandwagon
in Frozen world,
just like Fran hates AC/DC.
Well, oh God,
Anyway,
pre-show
okay,
stuff.
keep
that was a
going.
Had to
pre-show
be
thing.
there. Never said that.
Yeah, you did.
I said they were overrated. Let's move on.
You get to Arendelle, and like in the beginning, I'm like, they're doing some cool things with this world. It's a little barren. The whole game's pretty barren, but it's pretty as shit. Like it looks like the movie, right? You're going through the main story beats of the movie because that's how.
Oh, really?
Disney
They
worlds
intro
work.
all these.
So
little
that's
worlds
what
that
the
way.
Disney.
That's kind of cool.
When you go to the Disney worlds, you're essentially playing through a modified version of the story of the movie. The Pixar ones are different, but the Disney ones are all that. And you're going through Frozen, and then it gets to the Let It Go part, and the song starts playing. I was like, oh shit, they're actually using the song, because most of the time they don't. It'll be like Kingdom Hearts sounding versions of familiar melodies and stuff, which is really cool.
This guy is my friend. Like just changing the lyrics and stuff.
But I mean, like You've Got a Friend in Me. It'll be like that melody, but it's like using Kingdom Hearts instruments and stuff.
I see.
Kingdom Hearts has a very distinct musical style, and that is something that is 10 out of 10. The composer Shimomura is amazing, and full orchestration for all of this. It's like it is definitely an achievement in score. But then Let It Go starts playing, and it's actually Let It Go. Like it's straight up Let It Go with Idina Menzel as the voice of Elsa, and which is really cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
Kristen Bell is Anna. Like they're the voices. Gad, what's his name? Josh Gad is Olaf. Like they're all there. But Let It Go starts playing, and it's the full song.
Yeah.
They do the whole scene.
They paid for it, I guess.
It's theirs, right? But they do the entire Let It Go scene, and it's like if you put it next to the movie, I bet it'd be the exact same thing. Like it looks exactly like it.
What's happening?
Which is cool because it's like a testament to how pretty this game is that it can look like the fucking movie.
They cut the scenes like that. Okay.
It's in engine, but it looks exactly like the movie.
Okay.
But then it just cuts a goofy.
But every 4 seconds, it'll like not 4 seconds. Every like 15 seconds, it'll just cut to Sora, and he's like, "Huh?" It'll cut to Goofy. He's like, "Gosh!" Like, and it's like so fucking funny. But like that's quintessentially Kingdom Hearts, where it's just like there's this weird dissonance between what are you trying to accomplish with this, But at the end of the day, the power of friendship, man. May your heart be your guiding key.
May your heart be your guiding key, dude.
And your heart of hearts.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I'm gonna need that tattooed on me. That's gonna be on my tombstone.
Hell yeah.
But again, this just seems like a game that I want to try out because I know nothing about the franchise, and I think that I would find a lot of comedy in it.
Dude, you would.
Yeah.
Totally.
Probably.
And then that's my thing.
Make for a good
Honestly,
Andy
I think
stream.
you playing it on stream and you too.
Yeah.
But you especially with your fucking sense of humor, it's like it's gonna be great. You're gonna have fun with it. It's very easy to make fun of, but like there's cool stuff. There's gonna be a lot of moments you're like, that was pretty cool. And again, this sounds like a negative thing, and it is, I guess, but
You don't have to,
Don't preface it,
candy
Tim.
coat it.
Don't be
yeah,
scared of
I don't
them.
know.
What are you afraid of?
It's I
But
feel
be
like
careful,
this
be
movie.
careful.
I know this movie
The fans.
has got the amount of comments that I've received
sure.
that are like, or I've been getting DMs from people that are like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you should have somebody that is an unbiased Kingdom Hearts fan
Wow.
talk about it." I'm like, what does that mean? You're obviously biased. Like if
Yeah.
you're saying that, because again, I'm loving this game, but the game constantly
careful, though.
builds up to these epic moments, and it's like you're in a fight that you're like, this feels earned. This feels like, oh shit, I'm gonna do that thing. That's great. The music swells. The arena you're in is like super fucking cool. Sunsets and like exactly all that stuff. But I feel like every time that happens, it's very much them being like, this is epic. You're doing some epic shit.
Oh.
And it's like, it's a little on the nose, but
Yeah.
again, you just got to kind of let that go because it is epic.
Let it go.
Let it go. It is fun. It is cool to do that thing. Every single time I'm always like, this is cool. But it is like they're telling me it's cool, which kind of takes away
Yeah,
from
it does. It's
Yeah.
like the uncool way of telling
Yeah.
you to do it. But,
then-
but
and
that is
Donald's
the
there.
style, to your point,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be Kingdom Hearts without it, I guess. So.
But then, like, one of my favorite things about this franchise, and always has, is whenever they go to a different world, they look like they're supposed to belong in the world.
Right.
And when I got to Pirates of the Caribbean and Donald and Goofy look realistic, it's rad. You're like, this is freaking tight. I wish there was just more of that.
One thing I've noticed, and don't really I appreciate the effort put into it, but I don't love the design choice, is to make all the UI elements match the animated world. Of like how when you are in the Hercules world, like
the
your
UI
health bar
changes.
and all that stuff looks like.
Yeah.
Like-
you don't like that?
I don't like that. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God, I love it. That's
It
what I'm
just
saying.
it just feels a little cheesy
More
to
to
me.
learn.
Well,
Oh,
it
it's
is.
just-
It is.
yeah.
There's nothing not cheesy about this game, but you can turn that off in the menus.
Oh.
Oh, okay. It'll just go to a standard.
Just the default Kingdom
That's
Hearts
cool.
look.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like they give the option to turn that
Like
off.
again, it's a thing I appreciate. Like, wow, they went through a
Just
lot
not
of
your
effort to have UI elements for all of these different worlds, but it just looks kind of tacky to me.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
And again, I feel like it looks better in other games because like it just fit. Like the Halloween town in Kingdom Hearts 2 from Nightmare Before Christmas, like with that theme, with the characters look, with everything, it's like this is beautiful.
What's your favorite world so far?
In this one,
Well, I guess will it be spoiling anything? I don't know.
no, all the worlds are known.
Okay.
Like they've all been in trailers. They're all public knowledge. What?
It is known. It is known.
Oh, it is known.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. As
Top
much as I
few.
want it to be Toy Story, it wasn't. Like Toy Story, its highs are definitely the best, but overall, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that isn't that fun. I just want to make sure I'm not fucking. Monsters Inc. was really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, Monsters Inc. was my favorite one.
Pixar stuff seems like
Yeah.
it stood out a lot, huh?
And I think a big part of that is because it's not just going through the plot of the movie. Disney holds on a little too tight, whereas Pixar was like, hey, do something original. We don't want you retreading
Yeah.
the story of the movies. So, anyway, enough about Kingdom Hearts
Interesting.
for now.
On the record, I would play it where I don't know where to find the time to do that, Tim. But
Yeah.
knowing that it's like, call it a 30+ hour, not bad.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel better because from the outside, I would have just assumed Square,
60 hour.
legacy of, decade-old game,
I mean,
franchise.
it's an action RPG.
yeah.
Like
So
it
it's
has
not like
it has more in common with like a God of War than it does Final Fantasy in a lot of ways.
Yeah. But God of War
OG
long
God.
too, though.
Spiky hair though.
You've used the wrong word.
Really
A lot
awesome
of spiky
hairstyles.
hair. A lot of
I
anime
love
hair.
this spiky hair. That's
See, Andy, you
tons of
gotta
anime
play for
hair.
that,
I'm
lot,
dude.
down.
of, lot of great
Lot of cute
hairstyles.
boys and girls.
Yeah, I love it.
Down.
Love it.
So yeah, maybe I asked this question before too. I'm always afraid to get into games because I feel like if I can't finish them, then what's the point? Is this a game you'd recommend even if I can, just go out buy it and I don't mind playing it for 5 hours? Is that first 5 hours worth it? Or you're like, no, you gotta.
That's the thing too, because like the game is designed, it's linear, and each world is about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So it's like
so you can get something out
yeah,
without
and in
playing
between
20
that,
hours.
let's say there's 30 minutes of cutscenes in between each bit. But it's like, yeah, then you just get to the next world, and it's like you can stop. Like each world is contained enough that like it is its own experience. Real quick before we move on from Kingdom Hearts, Barrett, can you get on that guy real quick?
Hi, hello.
You are playing Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah.
pretty much blind. How
I played,
far are you now?
I played Kingdom Hearts 2, to be fair, 2 years ago.
Okay.
That's not that blind at all.
Very, very blind. I'm digging it. I beat the. Can we talk first hour spoiler of
Yeah.
the title screen?
Yeah.
I got to the 2.9 bullshit.
I made a
and
joke about that. like, imagine if they put like a 2.9 thing, and then I saw it happen, and I was like, "There's no fucking way!
Yeah.
You're kidding me, dude."
Yeah, so basically all of Olympus is like the 2.9, and then after that, it's like when you get to the story, the main story of like 3 or whatever. And I was digging Olympus, and then kind of the beginning, quote unquote, of 3 is going to Twilight Town. And just like KH2, when I hit Twilight Town, I'm like, man, I really don't give a shit about these characters. But I feel like I just got to push through and get to the fun stuff. Because I feel like I think I know what the next world is, and
Push
I'm pretty
through. Different review from Barrett.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh, so you felt that way too, but eventually...
Well, he's
it
talking about
gets-
specific parts.
Yeah,
I know,
I'm talking
because
about
he's
the
talking
specific
about the world
His
being.
tone is very different from what I just got from you. I'm just saying.
The gameplay is fun though. Like I feel like from what I vaguely remember of playing 2 a couple of years ago, like I do enjoy it. I don't know like what improvements they made, but maybe it's just clicking for me more this time around.
Really, in my opinion, they didn't make improvements. They made changes.
Gotcha. But I don't know. It's clicking for me this time around. I like the
Careful, Tim.
Careful, Barrett.
I like the control scheme and all that stuff. But the one confusion I've had is like, you hold down L1 and you have like kind of these like
Quick menu.
hotkeys
Yeah.
and stuff. I have like potions set to like one of them, and it won't let me, even though I have like hella potions in my inventory, won't let me use them. And so I'm confused on like whether that's something like
Voice
I got unlocked.
activated.
I think you tie that to, it's tied to one potion. It's tied to a specific item.
Oh
So
my
after you use
God.
it, then you need a hotkey to a different specific item because you can only hold a certain amount.
Some
per
Final
character.
Fantasy 15 bullshit.
Game design, man.
Yeah. But
It's hard.
I know once I get past Twilight Town, which I feel like is the majority of kind of like the Kingdom Heartsy type of bullshit, and I get to the next world, like I'm gonna be all in. Because when I was going through Olympus,
It's the
it
only-
was super fun.
It's the only Kingdom Heartsy bullshit. I'm using Barrett's quotes, not mine. And it doesn't take that long. It's
Yeah.
like there's maybe an hour you're in Twilight Town, and then
Okay, cool.
the rest of the game so far. I'm in the last Disney World now. There's none.
So it's not like
It's straight
Kingdom
through.
Hearts 2 where the first 5 hours are in Twilight Town.
No.
And you're playing as this dumb kid named Roxas, and you don't give a shit about him.
It's not like
God!
that. It's not like that.
Yeah, fuck Roxy.
Noted.
Let's talk about a different game. Rage 2, Fran.
Oh, all right. So I had the pleasure to play Rage behind closed doors several weeks back now, but then there was an embargo that was up, I think, last week. We didn't have a chance to talk about it last week. So here we are. So Rage, just to catch you up, originally Rage came out many years ago from id proper, and then out comes, Rage 2.
It was really tan.
It was very tan
very
and
brown
brown,
and tan everywhere.
post-apocalyptic world.
They're like, we're gonna solve that.
Yeah.
Kind of, now it's a little more Mad Max and some neon colors, etc. But the gameplay is more fundamentally changed. Just as a reminder, it is from the Avalanche folks
Who made Mad Max?
who made Mad Max, actually.
Game of
Yeah.
the generation.
But more importantly, now I'm blanking because I drank this Campari. Their main game starts with a J.
Just Cause.
Just Cause. Good Lord. It's been a long day already. But yeah, so I mean, they're the Just Cause developers. So skipping forward, this game is more open world. It's definitely got those vibes of Far Cry and Red Dead, and it is a shooter, but you also can hop in, a vehicle and drive everywhere and get these missions. It's got a little bit of the Blade Runner vibe too. I get a lot of questions about how is it going to be different than Far Cry, and they're very different from a gameplay setup perspective and a feel perspective, I would say. Like, this is also an ability-based shooter. Far Cry is not as much tied into that. As an example, I know that it's got the neon paint and it's got this post-apocalyptic feel, but quite honestly, having played both of them, they're definitely different from a gameplay feel perspective.
Yeah, the first time I played it at
the story.
E3, it reminded me, the combat I talked about this reminded
Yeah,
me
I
of,
played at E3 as well.
of Mass Effect, where you're pushing people and
Yes.
pulling people and making them float and shooting them in the air, and like,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that sort of aspect of the fighting.
Yeah, and that's the perfect thing to bring up. It's like when you get in an engagement with someone, you're not just throwing a nade and shooting them. You have a ability set that you're going to improve as you go along the way. And yeah, you can combo into stuff and it's more effective, but it's still, it's produced by id and all that. But the point is, it is developed by someone different and it has that feel. What I can say is I'm definitely excited
Produced by
about
id?
it. Huh?
You say it's produced by id?
Yeah, from them and Bethesda and everything, right?
It's software.
Yeah.
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 Really?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what Rage originally was. Id. That's what I was getting at. Originally they did id. From
Yeah.
Quake and everything
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it. They did the first one and developed this engine, and it actually has none of that actual tech in it. That was actually, what was that engine called? The Tech 6 or Tech 9 or
I don't remember.
one of those. The point. That's why I was trying to make sure that people know it isn't just like taking the old tech and upgrading it. And
Yeah.
they're still overseeing it. It's Tim Willits who comes from it, and they're all overseeing it with.
They were very
with them.
proud to say, like, hey, all the shooting mechanics that you loved in the most recent Doom, like, this is a lot of the foundation is from that. So these are like, you have hardcore shooter developers that are helping make this, not just Avalanche who made Mad Max. Like,
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was just Avalanche. I didn't know.
No,
all this of this.
Yeah, and that's sort of it's like it's a property that. And I asked Tim Willits about this. I believe it was Tim. I was like, oh, like, how are you guys feeling about having somebody else do your game, And it was like, hey, like, when we find a great studio, like, this is something we want to do, but you've got to find the right partner. And so, obviously, this is a developer they really believe in. Working with them, obviously, on Mad Max and stuff like that, I think was where it all really started. And they're like, oh, you should just take this property and do it. And actually, Rage had plenty of criticisms too, right?
So, the first one did. Id Tech 6, I believe, is the...
Yeah, I think it is Tech 6.
Yeah.
I was on Jeff Kanata's DLC podcast last week, and he was at the same event. He got to play some Rage 2, and we were talking about it. And he was saying that he had a great time with it. The gunplay was fun. Just kind of the idea was fun, and everything about it was cool. But he was disappointed with the feel of the vehicles, which he was surprised by because he loved Mad Max, and that was so vehicle-based.
Right, so that actually was one of my main concerns currently, and I talked to the developer about it, and I was like, hey, if I have one point of feedback above all, it is the driving. I was running into situations where you would like try to like turn a corner, you'd like roll off a cliff, but you couldn't like control the vehicle in a way that you felt like you could save yourself, and it just like getting over certain things, it just didn't feel great. Ooh, Kevin's got some Red Bull off camera.
Fran, maybe you're just a bad driver.
If you have any sugar-free, I will take one.
You know what?
What, was that just for him?
Papa.
Oh, I see.
Because I asked for it
Can I
earlier.
pour some in my...
Don't even worry about it then.
No, we have sugar free. I'll go grab you.
If you do, don't even worry about it. So
Thanks,
anyway,
Tim.
definitely the driving, which you travel long distances, and actually, quite honestly, you drive for a while sometimes. So you can even get into shootouts with other people driving. Interestingly, there was a racetrack set aside. It's like a race mission that you do in your vehicle on like a loop track, and I imagine there's more of it. That was more tuned up than the open world.
Interesting.
So it gave me hope that I'm like, wait, like I think they know what they want to do, but it's like behind. I think the game comes out in April or May. Is it May? It's right around in there because I know it's right around Days Gone and everything. But I feel like I didn't set it up right in that. I'm definitely still excited for Rage 2. I have a feeling that May 14th, thank you very much, Barrett. So it comes out May 14th. But I feel like I'm more excited about it than as much as I think Far Cry New Dawn is going to be like a satisfying game. Thank you, Kevin, for the Red Bull. I think it's going to be satisfying. I'm excited about Rage because it's going to bring a new feel to this open world of shooters. And honestly, there's not a lot of games out there like it. Far Cry is like it. Red Dead is not the same, but it has that feel of this big open world. And so there's definitely something there, but I think we need to spend a little more time with it. Yeah, the driving's got to be tuned up, but definitely where it shines is what I think Andy brought up was the abilities and like this feeling of power that you have, and it's pretty cool stylistically. And then I would also point out the story. It does have this very like
reminds me of Borderlands.
Yeah,
like, where it's kind of like a it's a very the vibe reminded me of Borderlands and Grand Theft Auto, where they're over their world and. It's very, oh God, I can't even think of the word, but it's very sarcastic. It's kind of like, it's the end of the, it's the end of the world. What's
self-aware?
Self-aware, yeah, it's a pretty good one, Tim. Yeah. It's a pretty good one. Yeah. But like their president is kind of like this, like super, like he reminded me of Terry Crews in Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Where
it is exaggerated. The whole thing
it's super exaggerated. Exactly.
It's a bit of a caricature of itself. Maybe I'm trying to think of a word now too.
Those are all good words, guys.
But we're trying, Andy. Just be careful.
I'm not good with the words.
Just be careful.
But actually, I also feel that the story does have a little bit of. It always reminds me of Blade Runner when I see a world like this. It's not quite cyberpunk, 2077, which definitely has a Blade Runner feel. God, but it actually brings that. And so again, I think when you look at the game and the world, it's bringing some interesting story, feel, and vibe. Maybe a little cheesy and exaggerated time, we'll see. But the core ability loop and the way that feels, I think it shows some promise. But
parody? Is that the word?
What? Parody? Blade Runner parody? No.
I'm just thinking of other words.
Just be careful.
Thanks.
So overall, interested, want to see more. I felt like, maybe just to wrap it up, I haven't seen it now in like 3 weeks. and I wasn't able to record footage. They provided some footage, and I'm left feeling, I'm like, I need to go back and like watch it. But I think that says something about the gameplay. Is that there's some stuff in there, but it just didn't quite stick. And granted, a sea of a bunch of other things going on, but they need that stuff to stick. Like I played Apex Legends, and I know it's hot, but like I played that for a few hours, and I felt like the gameplay stuck, the feel of it. So I'm not quite sure where this one's going to land yet in terms of that feel, and it's like super important, obviously, for a game like that.
Moving on then, Division 2. You guys have both played a bit of it.
Just a bit.
A little tiny baby bit.
Yeah,
Little
so
tiny
you
baby
like
bit.
played
40
last
minutes
night, Andy,
today.
and today you
Yeah.
played, Fran.
In between, Games Daily and this.
Yeah, the beta opened up at 1 in the morning.
Yes.
And so I texted Tim but never sent it. Like, hey, I'm going to stay up to play the Division beta. Which is weird because he walked up and was like, what have you been playing recently? I was like, I told you last night, but okay. And I was like, oh, nope, never sent the text. Yeah, I play. The beta opened at 1 a.m. in the morning. I was having... I noticed a lot of issues with like texture pop-in. Like,
You're on
lot,
PS4
A lot,
Pro?
yeah. PS4 Pro.
Pro. Just making sure. Pro,
Tons
regular.
of issues.
It's
like,
important.
I mean, nothing game breaking or anything like that, but every room I'd walk into, everything's smooth as fuck until level 2 pops in and then level 1 pops in, you know?
Okay.
And that happened all over the time, even in a couple of cutscenes. Where I was like, why does this seem like a really, like an HD'd PS2 game remaster?
Was it doing like a texture flash in, or was it literally just like...
It was taking a while for it to load.
Eventually when it loaded, it stayed though.
Sure, yeah. So it was more of a performance thing, but I was also noticing that whenever I throw a grenade, I would see the sound effects would come maybe like half a second after, kind of bizarre. I really enjoy how they are adding these encampments to the world.
The settlements?
Yeah,
or-
the settlements
yeah.
I think are really cool. I think that will sort of make it better for people who want more of a single player experience where when these games come out, there's a lot of single player fans who are like, yeah, but is it going to be okay for just single player? I think a lot of these things will help alleviate those issues where you walk into a settlement and they have requests for you to help them with. And when you go and gather those things for them, their settlement grows stronger and you can recruit people from there to go work back with you at the White House. It's sort of, obviously, we've seen the previews. It's a summer sort of vibe as opposed to a
it's like
cold
a
winter apocalypse.
Summer vibe. It's really interesting, yeah.
I'm really interested in so how they are alleviating those single player experiences. I think it's pretty neat. I like did you unlock the little robot that you can throw out there?
I mean, I was only, it's like, it literally, I was like, I want to be able to talk about it a little bit.
Right.
So I played it for like 40 minutes. What happened was, right, you go to the, snow spoilers here. You literally just go to the White House to get set up, and then it's like, go to the first settlement. And I got there and talked to that lady, and that was it. So I haven't really been able to do more than unlock a couple abilities and shoot a few people.
Yeah.
I got the feeling for the world, though. That's the only thing I can speak to currently.
I've seen people say that it feels more alive than the first division.
Yes.
Where the first division I played maybe 10 hours of and then kind of quickly gave up on it because I believe Destiny came out shortly afterwards and I got sucked into that. I think that's what happened. Maybe not. But
Did Division come out in 2014? I'm trying to remember now if it was before or after, but it was a March.
Yeah, all I know is that I didn't play a whole lot of the first division, but a lot of people have said the world feels more alive in this one.
Does.
There's this really cool ability where you can buy certain upgrades while you're in combat. So you can buy a drone that you can send out and it flies towards people and has a cooldown. And it flies and shoots at people, and you can shoot at them while they're being distracted or whatever.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, that is what, honestly, Division stands on, is it does have this deep statistical gameplay. It has it in the guns. It actually has some in the abilities. And that's what I started to notice. There's unlike what you maybe would expect, is them trying to make it more accessible. And I mean, I think they are with all the work they put in the presentation. It's like deep. Like, I mean, I don't know if any of these upgrades were made at the end of the first division, but like seeing like the gun, it's showing like graphs on the guns and like deep statistics. And there was quite a bit in the first division, but the point is they've kept a lot of that. And I think that is what makes it a really fun game to play if you want to go that deep. If you don't, I agree, I think, with what you said, is that like the world feels pretty alive, and going to these settlements, talking to people, the presentation of just being in DC in the sweltering heat in the summer. There's like pools of like old, moldy water out in the streets, and there's just like, there's fighting everywhere. It definitely feels cool just to walk around in that world.
Yeah.
From a gameplay perspective, yeah, like I played the first year on and off throughout the updates. Greg and I played. So, as the Dark Zone changed, they changed a lot with the balance of that game, that it got to the point of like, well, it's a great idea, but it's not what I saw in, the demos at E3 to like, this is pretty solid, but, I've kind of done all this and it's for the hardcore. But this, and that's where I was wondering, Andy, did you keep up with a lot of the first one? And no, you're saying you played just a little did you only play it at the very beginning?
No, I mean,
You played some of the updates?
Oh, no,
The
no, no.
first
Yeah,
Division,
I did not play any of the updates.
But you played it at launch?
Yes.
So it's funny because like Division now is already a very different game. With all the quality of life improvements they made and
it's
all
like
the
1.8
drops.
at this point.
It's exactly. And this, I mean, I think this is even farther than that, right? Like let's call it 1.5 or less. But this is a pretty, I mean, at the start, I feel like it's a big leap.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, so do you think that when this launches, it's going to be a great game that kind of looked at all the things that needed to fix from the first one and have like out the gate?
Yes, I think that they already had proven with the first one. They already know how to do it, and it's going to be bigger. It's going to provide more depth. You can go deeper. They fixed some things that were probably bothering you. What I think it's going to suffer from is that it's such a, I was talking about it today on stream very briefly. The look of that world is very realistically approached. It's not photoreal, but like, in other words, an enemy's not going to have like an outline on it to make it easier for you to shoot them in the head. I mean, maybe they do and I can barely see it, but everything is so subtle and green.
No, it was definitely tough to see.
You know what I mean? It really is like you were trying to spot these very detailed enemies in a very detailed world with foliage that's green and brown, and you're like struggling to navigate through this world almost as if you're there. And so part of that's a strength, but I think some of the negative is like that's kind of how you perceive the last one too. It was like it was New York, it was the winter, there's a lot of like buildings at night, etc. And this one you kind of get the feel for the day. So how much variety does it have in that to bring, and also like meaning versus other games, like a game like Anthem or Destiny and these more Rage even, like they really stand out as a style where this is it's Tom Clancy.
Different worlds.
It's like a cover.
Where
from
different
the book.
worlds sort of stand apart. In Destiny, you have these beautiful planets
Yeah.
that all sort of have different backdrops.
Like
but
this
in here,
is real.
is it all going to be this sort of hot brown toned
Hot brown.
Washington D.C.? You know what I mean? Like it's all very yellowy.
Samey.
Yeah.
So for you guys, I feel like you both are very into these type of games.
Oh, yeah.
And when we look at the last couple of years, like let's just even start with Destiny 1, right? And then even the with Tom Clancy, like Rainbow Six Siege coming out, with Division,
Wildlands,
with Destiny 2, with like there's so many of these games that they come out and they're kind of like good, maybe great, but like not feature complete and like need a lot of improvement over,
I don't think it's gonna be that.
time.
If that's what you're getting at.
Has there been a game yet that has been a success out the gate that has been doing all these games as a service things correctly?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I feel out the gate, Overwatch was kind of nailed a lot of what it needed to nail. And I even feel like Apex is doing that now.
Different strokes, but I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It was, both of them were very polished and they stayed in their
Lane.
lane. That's exactly, thank you, Tim.
Good words
I was
today.
like
Good
thinking
words.
about hallway and I'm like, that's not the word. It stayed in the lane.
Yeah.
Their lane was more narrow though. Okay. And these games are like, 6-lane highways.
Yeah.
Like honestly, very different. So anyway, I agree with you.
Yeah,
But they're a little more.
I do feel like at the end of the day, the Division 2 will be a game that I will mostly enjoy only if I'm playing with friends. It doesn't appeal to me playing only single player.
Yeah.
Whereas with Anthem, like I could play it however and it doesn't matter to
Really?
me.
See,
You think that's a different discussion?
fine.
but-
And I think it's just more of a different strokes thing where
Yeah.
I appreciate the hard sci-fi world of Anthem and maybe this Last of Us sort of overgrown world, post-apocalyptic DC doesn't really appeal to me a whole lot.
I guess
Yeah,
that's my
but
question
that's
then to you guys with Division 2 is like looking at, I would say Destiny 2 was the last time one of these games of service launched that was a sequel, right? That should have fixed all the problems, but didn't for the multiplayer gamers, right? For the people that are treating it as a games as a service. Do you think Division 2 will be the first time that they're like, we got it?
I think out the gate is not a fair question because none of these from server, like they were already having like some issues on the private beta and hopefully this stuff will be fixed, but we just don't know. They're always riddled with that and then like basic little balance things. But I will say I have high confidence that this is going to come out because I really like Massive, the developer behind it. This is something that again, they've learned so many lessons, not only from the launch that they did and each improvement they made. They had the benefit to iterate and say, do you like this? All the fans are like, no, we don't like, we like that. They're like, great. And they just did that for years now. And then they're like, well, meanwhile, while you've been doing that, we've been making this whole new thing that is supposed to upgrade everything. So I have pretty high confidence that for fans of this style of game, you know, again, if you prefer this sort of realistic look, very statistical shooter, I think it's really going to nail that. And then we're going to want some improvements, but I don't think it'll be anything like the first game. And certainly games like even Anthem, and how much Destiny had to learn after they tried Destiny 2 and changing that formula up. I don't think they're going to suffer from that. In fact, I think they're taking a safer path too of like, we know what you guys like. It's bigger, it's better. I talked to Greg in the end game now. There's a whole new set of characters that come out instead of just more yellow bar types of the enemies you already fought that take forever to kill. So I think that it's going to be pretty darn solid. And I've only played it for 35 minutes. Full disclosure, I never got previewed E3. I'm not, I've never had like previews with Ubisoft and the pleasure of that, so I'm not really tainted.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
This is my first time playing The Division 2. I know, I don't even know if we could talk about. Never mind. I won't.
Never mind.
Don't even talk. I won't even.
I don't even
No,
know
we
what
can't.
he's
Greg
talking
played it.
about.
Greg played last
Okay,
week.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Division 2? Yes.
So
Yes.
he went to that event or whatever.
That
and
embargo was up just the other day, whatever.
Got it. Yeah. I agree with Fran. I think that they are listening to their fans and they know what the fans want and they know what to improve on. Now, with this whole smorgasbord of games coming out around the same time, like, who's going to survive? It's really, really interesting to think about.
I was already thinking about that because that's the world I live in, and I'm like grateful that Destiny is like only got a certain amount of content to play, and like some people I know that's their life and they love it, and I respect that. But I'm happy that I don't have a lot to do. Anthem is scaring me, obviously, because that is my #1 most anticipated game still, and super excited about it. But Division, to be totally upfront, yeah, I've always wanted to be an expert at it and be in that world, and I've not been able to keep up. And so I was getting asked this question the other day, like exactly this. So like with all this stuff, Fortnite, Apex, Destiny, Anthem, Division 2, they're like, how am I supposed to keep up with it? Part of that's rhetorical because they can't, but legitimately, there was a real question. And I was like, you can't. You actually have to choose how you're going to play this stuff. So I'm making a strategic choice for now with Division, unless I can, figure out how to, survive on just playing those games. But I'm like, I will play that game for, 60, 80 hours, and I'm really going to enjoy that, and I'm going to wish that I could keep up with it. But I know that I can't. Anthem's the one that if it retains itself, I will continue with, and I'm going to spend a lot of time.
Making the big bets on Anthem, baby.
Well, I don't know, but the point is you do need to go in and just be like, it's okay that you only played it 50, 60 hours. You don't have to keep up with the end game updates. And there's a lot to enjoy before that.
Yeah. And that's how I felt when, people were asking me last night about, do you think the content will be there? And I had the problem. Not the problem. It benefited me with Destiny, where launch Vanilla 1 Destiny, when it came out, a lot of people felt it was short of content. But I was so fucking busy. I was like, I beat it. Like I'm fine that I'm done with it, and and I can move on to something else, or just deal with my regular kind of like 9 to 5 Best Buy job or whatever. And so I appreciated that it ended where it did. And so I know that a lot of people don't see that as a benefit at all. They see that as like, oh, well, there's not enough content there. But for me, it's like, man, if I can kind of get through the main stuff and be done with it and move on to something else, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Yeah,
it's the type of player you are. I bring it up because I think there's a pressure these days, and it goes from Fortnite now to Apex Legends to these games especially, which are more than just battle royales. I mean, there's these big games as a service that if you don't understand everything about it, like, I feel like people treat you like a loser sometimes. They're like, why aren't you don't know all this stuff. Why didn't you get everything? And like, that's okay. I want to say it's okay. Like, if you want to play Destiny, there's this high pressure that when you come in, the other players are going to be like, oh, yeah, it's this thing, and I got a lesson.
You only played 3,000 hours?
Yeah, but it's. I don't think it's even intentional. They're so eager about the world that they live in, but it does come across, I think, as high pressure. Even with Kingdom Hearts, I was just like, I don't even want to like say anything because I'm like, I didn't. That's why I disclosed. I'm like, I'd be careful.
You should be careful.
But I have not played the past ones. I would have loved to, but part of me knows there's people out there and they're like, you didn't play the first Kingdom Hearts. This guy, I can't trust him. And you're like, you can only play so many games in the world.
Yeah.
We come from the privileged position where we get the games for free, right? Like the games are given to us.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
I need to start begging for games free
Yeah.
again. So yeah.
But
we do.
for the
We
people
can
out
get
there,
them.
but the
We can
people
get
out there,
them if you
even when like I remember working at Best Buy and like all right, I have $60 to spend. Which game is going to get my $60? And if you happen to pick the game that has the smaller amount of content, or maybe the game that's not as engaging, you will feel like shit. I should have spent on the other one. You know.
It's interesting you bring that. That for me is another point, though, and I actually would say again, it depends on the type of person you're speaking to. Some people are more than happy to spend the 20 hours, and they're like, "That was awesome."
Yeah, I mean, for me personally,
Right?
for me, it's like Resident Evil 2
great.
is worth $60.
Yeah, it's like 15 hours, or
13
whatever.
hours,
Yeah.
and I'm done with it.
I love short games, dude.
Me too. But it's like I'd rather
Even if you paid for it.
for the quality there, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But I think whenever I did reviews in the past, I always did try to tackle that. You know, I'm like, if you want to go deep, you may like it for these reasons, blah, blah. But if it's for the value of it, you know, maybe there's not enough content, but the story's amazing and you should play it. So I don't think you should judge games based on the time played, purely on that. It's important.
Well, it's quality of time played.
Yeah, but it's
It needs
also
to be
how
quality
you
and quantity.
play.
If you have a 1,000-hour game but it's not good, it's not good.
Yes,
right?
yes.
If you have a 5-hour game that's amazing, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, even for me, take the challenges out of, say, Fortnite. Every week they do these amazing, like, you know, good anyway, challenges that you can go out and do, and it keeps you playing, and they're changing the world. Like, I'm just happy that it's a free game and it feels good to play, and I had fun with it.
Yeah.
It's amazing that they keep it updated. So I think, you know, it's how you look at this different stuff.
All right, well, I want to talk about Anthem, but before we do that, this episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Robinhood. We're going to put it there later, Kev?
Sure.
Great. Now back from the ads.
Just in the future, you could just be like, oh, hey, there's an ad here.
Cool. Cool.
Great script.
We're using a new system here.
Yeah.
We're trying to
Yeah.
work out the kinks. But yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Anthem.
Yes. Frantham.
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 Whoa, it's like
Oh, yeah, I've
Destin
been
with
using
Destiny,
that.
and
Yes,
now Fran
it's
with
the
Anthem.
baby. So I think we haven't had a chance to talk about it on the show
No.
yet then, right? Which is interesting because now there's been several demos, but we just haven't had a chance to sit down and talk about it. So I touched on it already a couple times. I'm still very excited for it. We talked a little bit on Games Daily today. They have talked about more of the end game. That is the number one question, and it goes back to what we were just talking about. A lot of the hardcore players are like, how much is in the end game? How much is in the end game?
Show me the damn roadmap.
That's right.
You know?
So they have. They
Give me
showed
more
you some.
graphs. Give me more charts.
They showed you there's an Act 1, Echoes of Eternity or something like that. So I got
Going in March or whatever.
I don't even know what the planet's called. We got a kind of funny you're wrong today saying
They
there
said
is
that
no
they
name.
haven't
I'm like,
named it
really?
yet.
Maybe
no,
we
I'm
don't
pretty sure
know.
I saw echoes of it.
That's
No,
for
no,
the
no.
Act.
There's no name for the planet.
The planet. Well,
Oh,
maybe
got
there
it.
is. But putting all those facts
Eternal echoes of the destined mind. Like, I don't know.
aside. No,
just
that was Kingdom Hearts 3
bunch of
subtitle.
adjectives and nouns.
Traverse Town.
But anyway, they have an end game plan. I thought it was very interesting that after the game comes out, which is February 22nd, this Act stuff doesn't really even start hitting until into March. So they definitely have some end game plan. We know that there's like months out there, but all I can say is this. Number one, I know that people, and I'd love to hear from, I don't know if you played some Anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Played a lot of
I'd
it.
love to hear from you about where your head sits on all this. The VIP demo was a hot mess in terms of tech. Servers, rubber banding, disaster. Getting kicked out all the time. Then they fixed a ton of that, but still getting kicked out of matches and some other like weird little quirks here and there for the open demo, which came a week later. And I think it's giving people pause of like, I don't know, it's not like, Apex Legends launches full on and it's pretty smooth overall. So by
Oh,
comparison,
I don't know about that.
overall, we'll talk more about it. But meaning it's not like, separate. We'll talk about the tech issues. But anyway, it was vastly improved, but I think people are very concerned with like, is this thing gonna like even load in correctly? Is it gonna work? But I'm gonna put that aside for a second and just say the feel of the gameplay. I've never felt like sort of a sci-fi fantasy flying ability based, RPG game as a service like this. That's what it's bringing to the table for me. And it is different from Destiny. Destiny's a first person shooter, very different gameplay feel. I always remind people, and I always will, I think on the show, that's what I'm about. You can talk lore.
Smell.
That's the smell of the game, exactly. And sometimes the taste. But for me, that is the most important thing. And I always use that example when Mario slides and turns and the friction under his feet and down to whatever the number is that they figured out, made it feel good. There's all those types of things that make it special. And so I think Anthem has that special feel to it. Flying around and use controller, even though I play on PC, I would not want to give up that feel of the suit. And they do a pretty cool job with the world. I mean, it's very artistically beautiful, and so I think I could go on and on about it's a world I want to live in. I don't know how much is there yet. It's too early to say. I have played the tutorial, though, and we weren't able to record it, and I'm not sure how much we can talk about it, but I call it the tutorial, but it's the opening of the game. So it's got promise on, call it a cinematic sci-fi fantasy level. The open demo featured a live world event where they put a storm in the sky and these titans were dropping in.
I unfortunately missed that.
And this is what the end game is supposed to culminate in. So I think what we saw in the open demo, you're supposed to all of a sudden, I guess, you're like, did you see the sky? And you're going to go into free play and it's going to be like, this rift in the air is like torn open.
That's cool.
And apparently it's going to get worse, is what I think. And it's going to turn into this full-on cataclysm event or whatever. And they teased this at E3 years ago or whatever now. It culminates right in the Shaper Storm. And they literally go into this like crazy storm of light and debris and everything and come out on some other side probably to face this huge challenge.
I
So
remember that was the E3 demo that wowed us,
Yeah.
where the Iron Man style thing flying through
Yeah.
the forest and there was just like the storm happening. It's
Yeah.
like, Jesus
So
Christ, this looks amazing.
That's what's supposed to be coming in the end game. So like the potential's there. I understand the tech concerns, and you're right. I think you shouldn't buy the game if you're worried that that's not going to come through. I have confidence that look, EA is launching a lot of services from Battlefield 5 to Apex to this. Eventually they'll figure it out. I actually think at launch they'll be in pretty good shape. They learned a lot, so I'm still super excited. Still my number one most anticipated game. So we'll see where that lands.
yeah.
I think it's fucking trash.
So what about you?
I've
You played the open demo, right? Or the VIP demo?
I played the closed beta too, and I played E3.
Oh, yeah. You're not supposed to talk about the
Well, you know,
It doesn't
You're not
matter.
supposed to
It's
say what you
irrelevant
felt
now.
about it. is
Yeah,
what
the smell.
You
You
can
can talk
say
about
you
the
did
smell.
it, but now I can say that like out of whatever.
But most recently, you played which one? Last week's?
Both
Or-
of them.
Oh, you played both?
Yeah,
Okay.
I played both. Yeah, so the first one, of course, I loved following all the devs on Twitter and seeing all these like
careful.
funky ways to get around bugs.
Yeah,
where it's like
workarounds.
If you do this, hit start and then go down here, and then it should be fine. Like weird little things like that were going on.
The metagame.
Yeah, there was the 90% load issue where it would get to 90% and you would have to just close out and restart, and it would enter you right back in where you started.
That one was a huge
tons of tech issues, and for some reason I wasn't annoyed with the tech issues as much as I have been with Apex. But we'll talk about that in a
I
bit.
can't wait to talk about it.
I'm so excited for Anthem. It speaks to me on every level in terms of
Got you baited.
you got debated.
I thought you were going to say you were really concerned.
No. I can't wait for this game. It's what I've been looking forward to for a long time. I'm a huge BioWare fan, and I think I've mentioned this one time where I feel like what Titanfall did to Call of Duty, where it added new maneuvers, like this is doing that to Destiny, where it's that same sort of vibe game, but now you're flying around, and I've never felt cooler in a game.
Right?
And I think that's like such a basic thing to say about a game, but I feel awesome playing it where I'm flying around, I'm doing barrel rolls, I'm throwing grenades, I'm shooting, the hovering, all of it feels incredible. I tried out
just
two Titans.
hovering, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, you're just hovering
It just
in midair.
feels incredible,
And
yeah.
they've been doing things like that forever, but the small touches,
Yeah,
it feels
absolutely.
amazing.
I'm playing on PS4 Pro, and
Thank you.
I'd say the closest thing that I remember about Andromeda, where I didn't play a whole lot of Mass Effect Andromeda, but the combat I feel they really nailed, and I feel like a lot of the best parts of the combat in Andromeda made it to this, where just the maneuvering and running around feels great. But again, the flying, I feel like me and Barrett played a bit where you get to the very, very end and you fight the big spider, and it's dropping down, and that was just a really fun encounter. We ended up losing, but it was a fucking blast to go through the waves, to shoot the things, and it's such a basic sort of enemy encounter where it's waves of enemies, shoot them, shoot the big thing, it goes away, shoot more away, but it's engaging because you're sort of doing this thing I've never done in a game before, which is flying around and finding ways, and which is why I think I'm going to enjoy this a lot more than The Division, where in The Division it's a cover-based shooter. It's holding circle to run to this wall, popping.
Very different.
And I enjoy the athleticism of this game more.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Being a
nothing.
freaking
There's
Iron
nothing
Man.
like feeling cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when a game can accomplish making you feel cool.
Yeah.
Like that's just the best. The closest I've ever played to a game that, and I haven't played Anthem yet, but
Skate.
to that
Skate 3.
no, but Zone of the Enders, where it's like you're in a mega fine. But even that, I feel was just the closest I've ever been to feeling cool, flying a mech and shooting whatever. But that it wasn't right. I'm very excited to get my hands on this and see if it feels the way you guys are explaining it.
Like just flying around the world, I think is awesome. Will you get into what is frankly more of the spreadsheet RPG kind of combo mechanics that BioWare can take it to? I don't know, but meaning I think it's just amazing to fly around this world and free play and shoot stuff. You can start there, and I think that's a lot of fun. But I'm excited about the depth, and of course, as a Destiny type player and fan, there's hard mode, and then there's Grandmaster 1, 2, 3, which you unlock after Endgame, which comes after level 30. And there are bigger and bigger rewards. And like as an example, in the open demo, I started to, and granted, again, it's in my DNA, I got this Devastator sniper, which just you charge up this snipe shot and it hits like a truck.
So fucking awesome.
The DPS was amazing.
Feels great.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I want a better roll. You could get one with more in the mag, which was more of the God roll in the open demo. God rolls are, a thing in these types of games. And so I think it's going to have that potential. It's something that we haven't been sure of, but I'm pretty confident.
I love the voice acting, the story. Like,
it feels like cohesive.
It feels like they obviously like put a lot of effort into making the story area first person, which I feel like it's been a great change with Destiny. Because you're in third person kind of running around and you're seeing your friends.
You mean Fort Tarsus?
Yeah, being in Fort Tarsus I think is incredible because you're seeing these NPCs and they're talking directly to you and the voice acting is great. And I think the facial captures far and away better than anything we saw in Andromeda.
Good. Yeah.
And I just love them talking to you as opposed to being a third person walking around in this story area.
I never thought of it that way. It really does put you up close and looking at them. Yeah.
It kind of forces you, I feel, to pay more attention. A really cool little quality of life thing that they did is they let you change the size of the number pops when you shoot an enemy, which is really, who would have thought of that? But it's a cool little addition. I can't wait for this game, dude. I'm so excited for it.
I know you guys have mainly played the multiplayer stuff and not too much of it, but do you think that this game is going to succeed as a single-player linear campaign? For someone like me.
I just don't believe you can play it single player, and you're going to have to matchmake to get by stuff.
I have my doubts, for sure.
I did try playing a few things solo, and I guess you could turn down settings. It's just not dynamic.
It's not built that way.
It's not built that way.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, and by the way, I believe you have to play online for the whole. Yeah, you do. You can't play this game offline. That
doesn't matter.
But that's like exactly like in the year 2019, like whatever. Yeah, and you should be online, but there's no reason not to matchmake. I think the question is, are people going to be? Here's one of the big ones I'm concerned about. If you play with other people and they start freaking dragging you forward through these checkpoints, I think it's going to be very frustrating to try to like have this experience where like I don't want to talk to them, but I just kind of want to explore and do my thing, but I could use your help. You're kind of caught up and like you probably are going to need to find a team and talk to someone.
Yeah, your teammates will drag you towards a checkpoint and you're like, oh, I'm almost getting there. Oh, load screen. It's taking me to where they are
and then
now.
It crashes. But no, I hope that is not the case in the final.
Yeah, I love the gunplay. How many javelins did you use?
All of them.
You use all of them? Okay, so I only used
40 hours.
I only used the Ranger and the Storm.
Okay, yeah,
I fell in love with the Storm.
That is the other thing, man. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Javs. I
love that we're calling it Javs. Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
The Frantham. I'm all about it. But I went in thinking you were just gonna like kind of one or two would really be, great, and the other ones need work. They are all vastly different, but they have really. They just feel so good.
Yeah.
And the Colossus is actually, it's the one that you're, maybe if it's not your play style, and it's usually not mine, that big tank type, you're not likely to try it, but oh my God, try it. Because, and I'll tell you why, the coolest freaking thing you can do, and it shows the level of detail with the gameplay programming that you could, take for granted otherwise. So he has a shield. So in Anthem, you have your health meter, and then you have your blue shield on top, like a lot of games these days, right? Colossus does not have a blue shield. Colossus has an actual shield. So you basically just have your health, which are pretty resilient, and not until you pull out your shield, and then you see a separate new meter just for that shield.
That's cool.
It's really cool. But the coolest part is you can actually shield charge at people. And so you'll get these rows of enemies and you literally charge at them. And you like, it's literally like the Hulk running through a crowd. It's like, they go flying. and you can actually hold the shield while you're flying and bash the shield into people. So there's like these little touches on the classes, and that's a great example. I'm like, it's just fun to play.
Yeah.
And you were saying earlier about the classes on one of the other episodes that you can switch between. You don't need to stick to one of them. Like that's what a great call.
Super important that people understand that too. With the javs, you earn them as you level up. I'm gonna always say javs. I love it. So you earn them at level 2, 8, 16, and 28, I think. And the way it works is you're just unlocking them as part of your story and experience, and you might want to switch them. And I think a lot of people look at Destiny and other games are like, oh, I don't know which class to choose. It's the number one question I get. The only thing you got to worry about is which classes do you want to choose first, between 2 and 8 especially, because the rest are going to be a bit of a grind. And really the last one, you know, what if you find out this Colossus is like totally OP and you're like, oh no, I didn't do it till last. But whatever, I think that's a nice problem to have if you want to play all of them. So.
I could not believe the level of customization with the colors.
Oh yeah,
it
can really make it your own. Right?
It felt like there's a program in 3D art when you're making like art for games. It's called Substance Painter, and it literally reminded me of that, where it's all these different spheres, and it's, do I want brushed metal? Do I want painted plastic? Do I want painted metal? Do I want a brass looking thing? Do I want shiny?
It's all like old 3DS Max,
platinum.
Like.
Yeah, exactly. It reminded me of this. it reminded me of a 3D program. And then so you pick the material for at least 6 different parts of your javelin.
Hard plastic. There's clean metal and old metal.
I meant like the 6 different parts of like, so like for the storm there's.
Oh yeah, the cape.
Yeah, they all have these
pieces.
different materials that you can add onto or whatever. And then from there you customize the colors.
Right, but
a full color wheel.
Yes, but no, you're right. Each one of those parts you can choose to either be like a matte plastic, or you can choose like a special metal, which has its own type of characteristics. And in those cases, you actually can't color them.
Yeah, they're just
metal types. I mean, they have different. Yeah, they have rose gold and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's actually interesting. It's so detailed that one thing I noticed, to your point there, I was playing the early demo, the private setup that I got with EA, because we played it before the demo, so it was the near final game. I changed one of the materials, and I was so confused because I just couldn't figure out how to change the colors, and I noticed that material, you go right, but that material had 2 choices, because it was the etched version, so it had the sort of black etch line, which you could change, as well as the embossed part of it.
Depending on how the light hits it or whatever.
Well, no, it was like interlay sort of texture.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've seen that one where it's like a crosshatch is a better way to put it. So you can actually color the line as well as the color, but only if you had that material equipped. So the point is it's got tons of depth.
My mind was blown with the customization of the javelin, and that alone was like, all right, I'm in.
I mean, again, I feel like one of this game's biggest selling points is how cool it is, and it feels like with Destiny 2, one of the biggest criticisms where it's like, why can't I just make my thing look how I want it without having to pay, or without it changing my stats, or without all this stuff? Yeah. This is them being like, hey, we're giving people what they want, because like that, we want you to feel cool, look cool, be cool.
Yeah,
jav it up, baby.
I think it's worth noting, though, the final disclaimer, though, is that just like with Destiny 2, I mean, we didn't really know what to expect. We thought they learned from the first one, and we assume Anthem learns from all the games before it. And when it comes out, we assume that a lot of it will be great. But we don't know. So, right? If you're not sure, I know I'm excited. I hear people even saying, they're like, man, hearing Fran talk about it, I'm in. But be careful still if you're not sure, and wait and see if you're not in a rush. But I have high confidence, but there's so much I haven't seen. And like the last thing I would want is for someone to turn around and maybe it was like same thing with Division 1. It was like, wow, that was not like I thought. They have a lot of work to do. I don't think Anthem's going to be in that scenario, but it could.
Just
it could still happen.
Away.
February 15th, Origin premiere, and then February 22nd for the official launch.
Oh, they're doing that really popular
Confusing.
EA
everyone
release.
Loves that.
Super popular.
Super simple. You know, we don't need a.
God, wait, it's a week away.
Yeah.
Or it's the week of when this launches full on YouTube. It's like, it's Friday.
I won't be playing on PC, unfortunately.
I will.
I might get it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you'll probably be. Dude, it's beautiful on PC.
Although I've heard flying on PC does not feel great.
Don't play mouse and keyboard. I mean, I get why people want to aim with it. I could go off for hours longer on why don't you just play with the controller, because it's an ability-based RPG with positioning your jav. Like, why do you need to aim so precisely? I get it, and some people love that feel, that precision on the mouse, but the flying is no bueno right now. They know that. There's some patches coming. but
I've heard you have to lower your sensitivity to like the lowest thing possible.
but then it changes when you swim. So when you are using the mouse to fly,
Oh my god! The first moment we hit the water, Bear and I were like, "Whoa!
No,
holy shit! Like this is awesome."
Oh, I thought you were gonna say how bad.
no,
the
just
mouse
say,
was.
no, just in the one mission where you're like you're
Oh,
flying, and it's like
yes.
come down here and it's just like this
Dude,
whole.
there's sound
That's-
effects
oh
and
my
atmosphere
God.
is so cool. There's actually in the free
Getting
play.
goosebumps right now, dude.
Yeah, in the free play, one of the coolest things I discovered, like I dove down into this big like river, and I was flying through it, and I noticed like this wall
Boss
of
Nass
light.
is there, like,
Huh?
Yeah.
And I noticed Jar Jar's
You
down there.
son no.
I noticed this like wall of light almost, but I was underwater and under all this stuff, and it was like a waterfall, and it doesn't totally make sense, but it's a
SpongeBob
flat,
rules.
yeah, a flat wall of water, and you fly out of it, and I turned around right away, and I like flew in this waterfall, and you could fly into the water like full speed.
so
And you're just
cool.
like, it's so cool.
Oh,
man.
man.
That's
It's a cool
what's
ass
making it
game,
cool.
dude.
So, anyway,
Video
we're
games are
excited.
cool, man.
Speaking of cool ass
Video
games,
games are cool,
Final
man.
thing of the day: Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Dude. Wow.
When I can play it, oh my god, I'm addicted to this goddamn game.
You've been having a lot of issues, a lot of crash
issues. Huh? PS4 Pro. Yeah.
PC.
A lot of issues.
Xbox One.
Oh,
X.
all
Really?
represented.
You're playing on that?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah.
Add me. Let's fucking play. I mean, I'm gonna
It's
download
gonna have
it
crossplay
everywhere.
soon.
I'm gonna download it everywhere.
Crossplay, but not cross progression.
Yeah,
So
which
that's it.
is like I don't really care about crossplay. I'd rather have cross progression.
Exactly.
Kind of weird.
Big issues.
Kind of weird. Yes, I think Respawn did an incredible job with this game. I think they learned every problem that every other battle royale has and somehow improved upon it. I feel like if you're an antisocial person, the ping system is the most genius thing ever
yeah.
made and designed in a game. I think it's so smart. No fall
it
damage.
works, man.
I've had
It's,
lots about
honestly,
the
the
ping
ping thing to me, it's like it's so intuitive that like, you know, I'm not a big shooter guy. I'm definitely not I'm not into this type of multiplayer thing. We were doing a party mode of it, and I'm in a room that was kind of far from you and Nick. And I was like, "Oh, do you guys have shields?" And Nick was like, "No, come to me," or like, "Where you at?" And like, I just pinged that. I'm like, he knows where this is now. Like,
Yeah.
instantly, he knows where to come to find it, and it's not this weird like communication problem of like language barrier. You know what I mean?
It really is one of the most ingenious, simple, elegant things in the game, and it shows the pedigree that Respawn and all of their producers and everyone has. Like, this game is not an early access. You know, they're bucking this trend of like, well, you know, we were whatever.
Well, it's free, so it's gonna have issues.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes with a stigma of, and amazing what PUBG did, by the way. And it's amazing. It came out early access and it innovated and people followed, and I would never take away from it. But now on the backside, they're looking at that now, 2 years ago, right? And they're like, maybe we should try something. And then, right, they're in the middle of developing this, just so you know, right? They had started way back then. Then Fortnite came out after they already started development. Now they get to learn from that. And so you're right, they went through all this stuff, and I literally think, yeah, they had this checkboard of like, what frustrates people? How do we fix this? The ping system, man. Like, I don't know how many times right in Fortnite, I was like, oh, over here, do you want this? And you're like, where? Oh, it's the blue house and
Two-story.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Where? I don't see it. And you're like, and in this game, you literally, on mouse, it's you just, whatever, you press the mouse button, but any button, you just ping. And it's context sensitive. How genius. You can just ping an item and it's like, got a R99 here or whatever. And it's so genius that they have all the voice callouts because you don't have to talk to anyone. Even for ammo, you can open up your menu and without a dial wheel saying, I need ammo, you point to your ammo and it'll just say like,
I need heavy or whatever.
I need heavy ammo. Yeah, and you know on the bottom of the screen who it's coming from.
Now,
So it's genius.
I think because of how genius this ping system is, that they prioritized it, thus making your ordinances and your health less of a priority. Because, and it may not be, it's probably not the same for PC, but on console, it's a little frustrating to have to either tap right to use the thing or tap right to get to the thing and then hit right trigger to use the thing. I hate those extra steps.
I will say, so Tim, have you had a chance to really play it yet?
I'm never gonna play it to a
Okay.
level of like
So-
that you guys are talking about. I'm having a blast with it. We did party mode. We played 3
yeah, so
matches.
you've played.
We
Oh
played-
yeah,
yeah, we played several
But
matches, yeah.
I enjoyed. This is a thing to people that know my style of video games. I enjoyed this game so much that while I was playing Kingdom Hearts, I was like, I need to. I like paused it, so turned it off, booted up my Xbox, and was like, I need to play a couple matches. And I was just playing through by myself, having a blast, losing every time. But like, it's just fucking fun. I love the look of the world. I love how it's like, you know, these battle royale games. I feel like they need to keep trying to one up each other in the map meaning something and having its distinct areas. I love this thing, just looks cool, and it has a layer of polish that I haven't seen yet in any of them. And I didn't play Black Ops 4, so.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. What is your general history of shooters? If and all you like them are BRs?
I love Halo.
Okay, so you're a
my
big
history.
Halo fan.
Yeah.
Did you get into Titanfall very much even?
No.
Yeah, see, and I think that's amazing though, that there's, and this is what I've been hearing from people, there's this like instant like hook feel.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, it just feels good,
Well,
man.
it feels good. That's the thing, going back to what you're talking about with the Mario
little
and all
things,
that stuff.
man.
It's like getting your hands on this, I'm like, ooh, I get
just
this.
the little like animations, it all comes together nicely, but again, it wasn't that they threw it together. It's been years in the making and comes out of obviously all the experience of making Titanfall.
Yeah.
But going back to what you brought up, I will say I went through the same thing. Is everything's easy to use. You pick up attachments and they just hot swap, and it takes like, you know, maybe a couple dozen games, but overall you're like, fine, I understand what's going on now. But it's in a game like PUBG, it's very confusing. You're like, what ammo is this gun take again? It's like very strategic. And
they definitely help out the user a lot by saying, hey, the scope you have is better than the scope on the ground.
Yeah, you literally, so if just to draw the comparison, if you don't know, in PUBG, if you have attachment stuff, and I don't know if they've really changed it, but the point is you have to know what attachments go on the other gun and like swap stuff around. And like now, if you have stuff that works on another gun, you just pick it up and it all switches instantaneously.
I did really like how it says you already have this, or like you have a better
you have something
one.
better.
I like that,
Yeah.
but I do feel like just jumping in, this game has a higher learning curve than
It's a
the
lot
other ones so
on
far.
screen.
Besides the building in Fortnite, which I do think is like a beast to itself. But I like Fortnite's like color coded system because like that's simple to know of like if this thing's whatever color, it's better than the other.
Yeah, I guess
gun,
this has
right?
that, but only for items.
That-
It doesn't. The guns aren't.
And that's my thing is I have no idea what gun I should be
And
using.
I asked them about that, and like it's definitely they had to think about how to balance that, right? And you're right. There's like you're right. There's no rarity. You can get a fully kitted gun, and it'll say it's
it'll be
yellow.
colored, yeah.
Or if it has a purple scope, it'll be purple. But it's not that the gun itself. And you're right. Like, how do you know if the Flatline or the Hemlock AR is better or whatever? You're like, I don't know. Should I use Devotion? So
At that point, it just comes with playing the game.
So the good news is there's not a ton of guns. You only have to choose from a few, and very quickly, within days now. I mean, the community is already figured out. So I actually think if you just play it and BRs, that one's going to come fairly naturally. But Fortnite has trained you to think the other way. But I did talk to them about it, and they were like, they said that they leaned into the ammo type because they didn't want you to have to worry about picking up these different ammo types, which PUBG is a little more like deep into. So you have like, you know, your gold, your teal, your green. It's pretty basic, but the point is there are heavy.
Red for shotties.
It's supposed to apply. This is a heavy ammo gun. You're supposed to be a little less worried that it's an AR or an LMG because it's about like ammo type. So I don't know. That was one of the things they looked at. But I mean, honestly, overall, they have a lot of info. I don't think they overdid it. It is.
I'm wildly impressed with this game, dude.
It's just a game you got to play, and you'll learn it. It's a language, man, and it's not that hard to learn.
I'm impressed with this game from every standpoint, really, and like I feel like as a student of the industry and somebody that like really appreciates the marketing side of stuff, I think this was brilliant. I think this is definitely a perfect example of how to launch a good game.
Yeah,
you know, it's like. They really put a lot of thought into like, hey, let's make a successful launch and guarantee that this game has sustainability based on the quality of the game, not based on promises, not based on anything else. Just like, hey, it's here, you can play it, and we're going to give you reasons to support us financially. You played for one night and you're like, fuck it, I'm buying this thing. And I saw you buy the whatever the hell it's called.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll give them $10 here and there.
Yeah, for like a skin.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the Battle Pass is coming. It's coming in March, and they're going to have seasons. I also got to give them credit on that point, and I was really happy that I asked them this. I said, wait a second, there's like all this microtransaction stuff, and it's EA, right? And everybody wants to know. Had a deep discussion about choosing prices, you know, and they're like, well, we do look at our competitors. So thanks, Fortnite, because that's why stuff costs $20 in this game, because you're buying it in Fortnite. So until you don't buy it. But anyway, I said, wait, there's no emotes. Like, there's no, like, dances. There's nothing like an Anthem. And that one stood out because you would totally pay to have these amazing dances to do victory dances.
Just don't want to get sued.
There are finishers. No, that's, people joke with that. It wasn't that. And I really respect them, and I think they really meant it. They said, honestly, like, it can kind of be used, you know, you see it in Fortnite occasionally. Like, certain things will give you an advantage of like a bullet goes over you. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's true.
And they said we just don't want to deal with that right now. From a competitive standpoint, we are taking it seriously. So I give them credit that it wasn't like they just looked at microtransactions and said we'll throw everything in there. I think they've been very thoughtful and like again, Respawn, like that is a company, a team that made ultimately Modern Warfare 2 and some other very high caliber things before they went on to make several Titanfall. So I mean, they know what they're doing, and boy, does it show.
I'm really happy for them, and I hope this is the game that gives them sort of the freedom to make whatever they want to do now. Obviously, they're working on Star Wars, but like, I really hope this is
Gives
like
me hope for that.
This is like that huge sort of breakout success that EA says, "Hey, man, you all fucking do whatever you
I
want."
kind of feel like
that
this
today,
is
right?
it.
But
Like, I feel like this is them
you
being like,
said
this
they-
is what we want to do.
You said today they were already that, right? You said they were.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is I feel like this is proof of them like having that already and proving that they deserve it.
Oh, really? Because
Like-
this to me feels like Radical Heights.
Yeah, no,
like
I'm
obviously like, you know, different successes or whatever,
Yeah,
but this
yeah,
to me feels like the Radical Heights of like, we need to make this battle royale because it's hot and hopefully we can. Obviously, it's really, really good, so I'm not like down talking it at all, but the way Cliffy B released Radical Heights in order to hopefully give them enough runway for the next game, and it didn't work out. That's what this kind of felt like to me.
I think it's different,
But
though.
that was rushed out. More
Yeah,
so.
True.
To
This
me,
is
this feels like this
years
is
in
the
the making.
game that they wanted to make, and they put it out the way that they wanted to put it out. And that's my thing is like I've been reading a lot of different articles and interviews, and like I've talked to like different people in different places.
Secret sources.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything too specific, but like they're saying that like the conundrum with and the fiasco of Titanfall 2 launching next to Battlefield, supposedly. Despite popular belief, that wasn't EA. That was Respawn.
Yeah,
Being
I've
like,
read a few
we want to
things
do
about that.
this. We want to launch now. And like now when it's like, oh, Anthem and this, why would you put them so close together? It's Respawn being like, I want to put this out now. We want to put this out now. And to me, that says like they have their own plans. And like, especially when you see this game and with how much thought they put into it of the current landscape of video games. And like, they believed in this product and they believed in getting it out so that people can just get their hands on it and trust in it. I don't think that this is a proof of concept for what could be next. I think this is the thing that they wanted to do.
Got it.
You know, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Man, no fall damage is great. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love
I love
Another,
no
like,
fall damage.
great
I love
touch.
the being with your squad coming down. I think 3 is a great number.
Yeah.
I love being able to split off if you wanted to, but it's just so many weird little quality of life things. I
Yeah.
love the addition of characters, like the classes and stuff. Like that's so cool, and the different abilities. Like it's just such
the
rad
abilities.
stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting that at face value, you're like, oh, they took Overwatch, they took PUBG, and they took Call of Duty background more than anything. I don't actually think it took a lot of Fortnite. Fortnite was obviously
Or
inspired by-
Titanfall.
And well, some
Just
a
the
little
maneuverability,
Titanfall. There's
but-
a little bit, yeah, a little bit
sliding.
of those feet and the sliding
the
and
sliding's
the
so
field.
fucking
you
cool.
slide down a whole hill. But at face value, you're like, they just took all those things and mashed them together. And by the way, when I saw the reveal, I was like, this looks good, but it looks like they just kind of mashed them together.
Oh, I doubted the hell out of it. I was like, "There's
Yeah,
When people
you
wanted a
doubted
Titanfall BR, they wanted a Titanfall
I'm like-
BR. Not necessarily with Titans, but they want the wall running. They want like
Yeah.
the zip lining stuff, and well, I guess you get zip lining with
Yeah.
what's his
Oh,
face?
you just made me forget his name. It starts with a Q.
A Q, really? Shit.
Soundwave is what we're calling it.
Yeah, that's what Tim calls him. Soundwave.
But all I was gonna say is at face value, you'd look at it and you would doubt it.
Sightline.
Right? Is it sight? You might be right about that.
Let me look it up.
I think I was thinking. I know. I
Jump
thought
Master.
his name was no. His name I thought it would start with a Q because on PC you use Q to use the zipline. I'm an idiot. A lot of late nights playing this game actually is why. But anyway, at face value, you can say, look, it looks like it's just taking these old ideas and mashed them together. It honestly is its own thing,
and it works.
They really have proved to me this is not even. I think they want to utilize the world of Titanfall, and by the way, explain some of the like.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, Pathfinder. Explain some of the world stuff. And so they leaned into it, but there's no Titans, and I'm fine with that now. But at first, I was like, it's going to be a stripped down Titanfall, taking these other elements. But no, man, it all comes together nice. And then they do these really ingenious things that just, it feels good.
My biggest complaint about the game is the name. And it's like, I know at this point it's too late and it doesn't matter. It's a hit.
I'm
Who
okay
cares?
with it.
I just think that
more
it's
like-
so lame and like
Apex Legends.
I think it is too, but it's like a game show that they're showing like who's the legend of Ape. You know, like it's
Yeah.
like they're with the banners showing like who the top killer is and all that fun stuff.
I think it's weird to have a two-name game. What if it was just called Apex?
That'd be cooler.
yeah.
Is that why?
I think
Yeah.
that'd be cooler.
I have a
don't know.
feeling that they couldn't do Apex or something, and they're like, well, it is about the legends, and because it is odd, right? I mean, granted, PUBG is different; it's battlegrounds just Battlegrounds, but Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. But it is mostly one name. It's weird to have a 2-name game. I think that's what's getting people. It sounds overdone.
I think it's weird.
I don't care.
And again, it doesn't matter.
I just call it
success
Apex.
already. And people call it Apex.
They just do play
it's
Apex.
fine.
They don't
but
say play
I
Apex
just think it's
Legends.
weird that they didn't involve Titanfall, even though it's not Titanfall. And I understand that. And also, I don't know that putting Titanfall in the name would have been a good idea.
I
so
think it's really smart they didn't.
They didn't,
It would
yeah,
have been
so-
confusing as heck. So I'm
But I
glad.
just I guess here's my thing. When I went to download it on my Xbox One, I went to the hot tab or whatever the hell.
Hot
and then
brown tab.
You see, hot brown. Baby.
Hot brown.
Good words. And I'm seeing all the different games. This did not stand out at all. You know, it's just kind of there.
So maybe is it about the characters and the color
It's just-
palette, or is it actually just the logo and the
The
that
logo,
general-
the name, like the
It
branding of
seems
the game
generic.
to me seems very generic and like
I follow
it's
you
not as
there.
good as the rest of the game. I guess that's the best point.
No,
I can
you're
make,
right.
Is like everything else is such high quality and took the best of each thing. This is like
I
okay.
love that there are no hard counters right now, at least with the heroes and classes that you're picking. Or like in Overwatch, it kind of feels like the start of Overwatch where nobody fully knew how to counter certain characters, and I love that about that, and I hope that they kind of keep that trend where now in Overwatch it's so like, oh, they're picking this, well I'm picking this then, and thus making you useless. Like I love that every character kind of has their own quirks that do make them worth, like they make them have worth.
That's the twist they put on it, was the ability-based battle royale. I mean, you certainly have like abilities in Fortnite, but it's the way they do this, the fact that you have a superpower or even a sub power, it really changed the game. Yeah, like Pathfinder can grapple quickly up places or create a full zip line with, is that the super?
With his ultimate, yeah.
Yeah, the ultimate creates an entire zip line for your party. And there's like all those things to balance out. It's a lot harder than you'd think. And yeah,
and that's
it feels
gonna be over
good.
time, you know?
Yeah, I will say with the game right now, I am definitely feeling, though, if you don't have a lifeline or a Gibraltar, somebody that's a little more powerful, or Lifeline's deal is she can like drop like a health pack and stuff. I'm feeling like you kind of need that ideally, but also I'm probably wrong. Like some people are probably running all of a certain type of class and you'll find out it's OP. But I'm not feeling it's vastly unbalanced, though, to your point.
No, same.
I don't feel like I get a super dropped on me, and I'm like, holy crap, are you kidding
Right.
me? They're like little touches, and they go a long way.
I do like the idea of also when you open up the map at the beginning, it's showing you we're gonna have more loot in this spot
Yeah,
or
the
this
hot
spot.
zone.
I love the ship that has purple
Random ship drop.
Yeah, I think it's really, really creative.
It's another, so literally that's where you go back to that list and they said, okay, it's hard to find items. So we created the ping system. It's hard to talk to each other. We created the ping system. Everybody just goes to the Tilted Towers or the popular spot. They created a hot zone. So like you're sending people randomly to these places. And then like the moving ship, like there's all these little things that I think they've really solved some issues with like the traditional BRs, and I think that's going to influence, you know, some thoughts that the other ones have. Before we move on or end or whatever, I do want to disclaim, as I had before, I am getting crashes with my 2080 on PC. I think, did you have technical issues?
Yes, I'm
So
crashing
many.
about like every third or fourth game, and even when we
Just in the middle of the game?
Dude,
Yes,
in
and
the
PS4
middle
Pro.
of our party mode, we're playing, and we were doing pretty damn well.
Yeah.
And there was a zip line, and he's going across it, and his shit just crashes. We look over at him, and his character's just hanging midway on the zip line.
Yeah, and last night was especially frustrating because I don't mind a game early. I understand game development. Like I get that there are going to be problems, and I definitely do not mind the crashes in the beginning of games, partying up. Sometimes you exit a game and then it kind of locks up. You got to restart the game. That's fine. I can manage that. But
Middle of a battle royale?
oh my gosh, that last night I sort of had the final straw where after at least like I feel like I had 5 crashes throughout my 3-hour
You're getting
stream
a lot more than
or
me on
so.
PS4 Pro, right?
PS4 Pro, yeah. And then
I like the Pro.
I'm with the squad and we just took out I took out the kill leader. You have to eliminate. I was like, fuck, I'm feeling good. I have like 3 kills right now. I have my fucking peacekeeper shotgun.
saucy.
Feeling great right now. Let me get this stuff. Where are we going to next, guys?
Who are you playing as?
Freezes. I was Bloodhound.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Tracking the enemies
game
down.
just freezes and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And it crashed and it was like my final straw of the night where I kind of like rage quit it. I was like, I'm fucking ending
What
this
place
stream.
were you at?
I think there was like maybe
You were
5 or
getting
4
far.
squads left.
I got it even worse, dude. Let me explain to you. So it was, I think, the first night or something, maybe the second one. I'm closing in with CJ Gibson from IGN and this guy Click It that I always play. I've been playing back to Trials on Destiny, and it's the sweaty team, and frankly, they're helping carry me. But I was like playing well, and that's the one thing about this game too. I feel like I'm playing well in
yeah, same here.
I'm just like I'm not Shroud. I'm not like this amazing natural shooter, but feeling good. Anyway,
I am, but that's fine.
yeah, I need to play. Teach me, senpai. So, dude, we're coming in, and we get this choke point, and it's through that big like hallway building in the center. Long story short, I'm like, let's go here. The circle's closing in 2 sides. I'm like, it's gonna be inside the building. We're gonna get choked in with the last team. We get inside, everything's going my way. I got a sniper, whatever. We get in the hallway. I'm playing Bangalore. I got the smoke drop, and it's like a Michael Bay movie. And I headshot someone, 109 headshot. Like, let's go. And I go up the stairs, and they're like, drop that smoke, you know. And like, there's smoke everywhere because there was a Bangalore on their team. And then I just open fire, and I knock someone down, and we were literally, that was the last squad. And meanwhile, I had CJ and Click on Discord. My game crashes out. I'm out. They finished the match. I didn't get my win. And it happened again last night. I got the same situation almost.
Oh, man.
So there's something going on that I've heard of with the RTX 1080, but maybe other driver issues towards the end of the game. And so now I'm like afraid to play because I was left like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's blue balls, the worst kind, man.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, I want my battle royale.
Yeah,
So
I won my second match ever, and I was like, all right, I'm pretty decent at this game.
So I have
and
no
then
wins.
From then on, it's been I'd say like every 3 or 4 games, I get a blue screen, and it just gives me the error code or
blue
whatever.
ball screen of death.
And then yeah, last night I played off stream with my buddy Brian Riley from Rooster Teeth and Khalif from Spawn on Me.
Oh, cool.
And so we partied up and we're playing, and I feel like every 10 minutes I'd be like, man, I'm so scared I'm gonna crash. Like I just felt
That's
that
what I'm
dread
feeling right now.
I felt the dread, you know?
But it's especially because I've only got it in the top 2 places so far.
Oh, I
So
forgot
it
to-
feels like it's a bug for the top place.
Forgot to mention, I love respawning characters.
Oh my God, another
that's really
brilliant
cool,
thing.
That's a
too.
smart like idea. The idea of like we could pick up our dead player's banner who was downed and was shot and killed. We could pick up their banner and take it to this drop zone. Do we
relatively
risk
close.
it?
Yeah.
Do we risk it or do we go
to
on
the
without
next
them?
one.
We see squads over there. I love that sort of.
What's cool about that?
Risk it for the
It
biscuit.
being the 3-player, you have to do 3. You can't do the solo and stuff. It's so team based that I love that when your characters die, you don't need to sit and wait and watch your whole team play for an entire match to get back in. There is that risk it biscuit thing where you're like, okay, we could bring them back if it's worth it. That's so well designed,
Yeah,
so cool.
I love it.
It feels great.
Again, I want to play more. I'm just really, really worried. I hope that they release a patch sometime soon. Because I put out a tweet, anybody else crashing, and got a lot of no's and some
I've
yes
heard
all
a
the
lot of
time.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of no's though, for sure. And I got a lot of people like play on Xbox, play on PC. It's like, guys, I mean, maybe.
The last
It's
thing
free.
I would bring up that I don't know if it was touched on a lot, but in the interview I asked them, I said, wait, why is it 60 players? Are you guys trying to like get it to 100? And they were like, yeah, just right now it's 60. But I was doing some math and I was like, wait, it's trios, but you know, maybe it was
33
just
squads at 3.
if it was 99, it would still add up. But if they're going for 100, that might mean they wanted to do squads, maybe. And maybe it turned out that they had to do 3 to start. I'm just
I
speculating.
think they were just rounding
So
up.
I think what will happen is
They'll figure it out.
they'll either jump to like around the 80 mark and they'll try increasing towards the 99 or 100. But then I have no doubt eventually squads will come in and solos. Like this is a place to start. Again, season pass starts in March. And it's interesting that it's a full launch and they did such a good job. You're like, wow, it's done. But no, they've got a lot of stuff coming. And I'm just excited to get more people on the map without the crashes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Thank you very much for joining us here. We will see you next week, or if you want to watch Kind of Funny Games daily, every weekday, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, 10 a.m. Till next time, I love you.
Guardian out.
Post-show time. Franthem, baby.
Anthem.
The jazz back there.
Oh, Kevin's back there.
What's up, dude?
His hair is doing a little flippity thing.
I only see the head from here up,
Yeah,
and I thought it was
it's-
Joey. I thought she had her hair up.
It does look like Joey.
It does look like Joey.
Weird.
It totally is.
Because I see the head.
You just see like a little
yeah,
bun.
I just saw the scalp. It looked like a little bun.
Show the people.
Wait, hold on. I don't know if I have it.
We'll take a photo. Ah, what's happening?
Wow, that's a bright little screen.
Yeah, a little bright
It's okay.
Dude, by the way, that art back there of the Spider-Man, that like caught me off guard. That one's so good.
Really cool.
That
Really cool
Spider-Man
shit.
art was really
There
great.
it is. Yeah, look at him on the side.
It's totally a man bun.
Oh,
I love it.
So
Is that
funny.
what the Campari did to you?
You drink Campari too,
It got
Kev?
me nice and tired.
Yeah, I told you it was gonna bring us down.
It is a tiring.
See,
tiring
I'm like
drink,
nice,
yeah.
but you know, pretty relaxed though.
Yeah,
Like
if-
it gets tough to drink. It gets bitter.
Yeah.
It is.
like
It's a
longer.
bitter drink. I told you. Like to catch people up on the post show, I'm well known. I drink Campari. It's my drink. It's an Italian aperitif. They actually have it here. I wasn't gonna have any, and somehow it came up. And Tim's like, "Yeah, well, we have
Let's
a
go,
little."
baby.
And I was
Let's
like, "No,
go.
it's gonna
Let's go,
tire me
baby.
out."
Party time. Party time.
But I made
One of
them
my
both the drink.
favorite Franisms that I've forgot about over the years, but I love that now that we've
all
had you on the
coming back
show.
to you now.
It's all coming back. But I just love the way you say, "What a disaster!" Like
Oh, yeah.
every time Frank's
What
talking
a
about, it, he's like, "It was a
disaster."
disaster."
Yeah, it's the it's the guttural like what a disaster.
Exactly.
Right at the end.
Exactly.
That's how. If you want to imitate me, it's
Good
right
words,
there.
man.
There's a story that, yes, I have tried installing and reinstalling it again. I did that already.
For Anthem
There's a
Jazz,
story that just kind
Demetrius.
of happened right now, and it has nothing to do with games. And I only read the headline, so of course I'm lazy, and I'm just gonna like take all I can from the headline. But apparently, Jeff Bezos is getting extorted for dick pics, and he posted an article on Medium that was like, "Fuck you, post them. I don't give a shit."
He has
He
like
wrote an article on Medium saying like,
No, he
"Here's the backstory. Here's all this stuff. Like,
so
I don't
he
give a shit." Do
has
what
some
you-
old dick pics from college or
I
something.
have no idea. They're
and then-
probably recent, honestly.
Go through divorce.
And then someone's threatening him that they're like,
They were
"We'll-"
trying to extort him, and he did the thing that.
And he
'cause
was like,
There's this
fine.
famous hockey star that fuck, I forgot the guy's name, but he was he's like a 40-year-old hockey player, and he was like, you know, in a hotel room with like some 22-year-old chick, and then she took photos of him naked and was like, "I'm going to post them online unless you send me money." He was like, "Post them. I look good. I don't give a shit." And this reminds
is
you of
the right
that.
approach.
That's
It's
right.
like,
Again, I
sure,
haven't read all the
I
details.
don't care. Like I wasn't doing anything
That's
wrong.
awesome, man.
That's interesting. Mm-hmm. That feels like it would make bigger news.
Well, I think it's here now, right? Like this is we're at the
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
But
literally
no, yeah,
happening
this is
right
like
now.
this is like
We're
an
at the
hour
point
ago.
of
Yeah.
no
oh,
return.
it literally is just coming out. There's so many puns in what I just said.
I love
but,
it. It's coming
Big
everywhere.
news coming out. Whatever.
Oh man,
Um.
I'm excited for you to do Games Daily tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Definitely.
hosting
The
with
Friday
Belinda.
show.
Yeah, Friday.
I have not
Friday
met
shows
Belinda Garcia
harder
yet.
than normal, I would say.
It is. Why?
Because they
All the
less news is
I
really
know.
going on, and Friday they're
Monday
a bit
was
more of a
pretty
stretch.
shy too. So
Mondays are usually okay because you get all
Usually.
the weekend stuff coming
Yeah.
in. But the problem with Mondays, you couldn't have talked about Apex Legends yet.
Exactly.
Even though you knew.
Couldn't
Even though
talk
you knew.
about it. So yeah, we were waiting on that, but we'll be fine. At least I like to talk a lot, and I'm starting to get a bit of more rhythm. But haven't met Belinda yet, but I'm excited.
She's fantastic, man. She's definitely great.
Tomorrow, and then I'm gonna probably stream. I'm gonna do the Fran Friday stream after.
Friday.
And yeah, I'll
What are you
just-
playing?
Division, of course. So
Okay.
as long as there's enough to play, I'll play tonight as well. Twitch.tv/FM3_. But I'll play tonight, and then
But definitely
as long as
PC.
there's- Huh?
Definitely PC.
Oh yeah. Well, but since it's the beta, I might hop
I'm
around.
so
It
close because
depends.
I know that my laptop is decent enough to now play a game and stream, but now I'm like sacrificing 1080p 30 or 720. I think I might have to do like 720p 30 if I want it to be able to.
You want me to do 60 for stream?
I'll do 720p 60 or 1080 30. But
Oh.
on my laptop where I'm playing PS4 now.
Gotcha.
But if I want to play on this new laptop and play a
stream
PC
on it.
game,
You stream from your laptop.
yeah,
Is what you're saying.
if I want to play a game and stream at the same time, I will probably have to lower settings and
yeah. If you can't play at 60 frames and stream
Don't
at
you
60,
have
then
two
it's not worth it.
laptops?
yeah, but that's a fucking nightmare, dude.
For PC, it is.
Like just it's just a lot of stuff as it is right now. Like I have a USB hub with like 12 different things.
I'm
in
with
there.
you. I stream all on the same PC. I'm definitely approaching the point where, if I can afford the money to spend on it, I might go to. But like the thought of a KVM switch or whatever for like the keyboard's got to work with two PC.
that's
Oh, it's
a
a
lot of
night.
stuff.
I have so much to worry about in the first place.
Yeah.
It's really nice to stream.
I have to worry about it just running. Anyone gonna play Crackdown 3?
Yeah, I
question
mean,
in
I'm
the
gonna
chat?
check it out, but
I'm not planning on it, but I'm sure.
I want to check it out.
Okay, I
Party
was just
mode
saying
or
like yeah.
I just hope
Yeah.
it runs
I wasn't
well.
sure if we could talk about it.
About playing it when it comes out. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like they're inviting.
Because I think
to
we're
go play
gonna
it at
record
some
a party
point.
mode for it.
Yeah. It's
One of them after party or a pregame.
I'm excited to check it out. I mean, it's been in development for a while. I'm a little worried about how it runs, though. I mean, we've seen that in the footage so far that it has some, like, looks like physics slow down at times because there's so much going on in the world. It kind of starts to chug occasionally with those big explosions.
The just cause conundrum.
Yeah, exactly. The same problem. You just overload the CPU and things slow down. Slowdown is different than a frame rate.
When I first played the closed beta of Anthem, I played on PC, and I was like, oh man, it just feels so good to to be like head popping.
I would never condemn on console. I think people get that attitude, although there's a lot of PC fans that are like, oh, finally, like, someone who's super into PC. Not that, you aren't, but I know. I don't think it gets brought up as much on the shows.
Well, it does. It's just, it's always Greg being an asshole.
Oh, it's Greg. Oh,
it's never brought
Greg
up in a serious way.
He's like,
ever.
F you, PC. Yeah. So it's good to have me in your court. But I mean, I really do like consoles. It's honestly about the 30 frames right now. I just like between Destiny and Division and these games, anything with that fast reticle, I'm like, even like a fighter, right? Anything fast. Like, can you imagine playing Smash Brothers at 30 frames? Like, that is the...
If it was locked, I'd be fine.
It was what?
Locked at 30?
No way.
As long as it's locked. I just don't like when things are all like...
And I'm not condemning you.
Yeah,
but imagine that's the world we lived in, which is like, well, you could play Smash on PC and it's 60, or you could just play it on 30 on Switch.
See,
I'm
for
like,
me, that type of stuff, the frame rate and all that, I'm like, it matters less to me than the... Like, on any game when I have that there's performance mode or graphic, I go for graphics.
Interesting. So yeah, for like God of War, PlayStation 4 Pro, you have the choice, right, to make it more cinematic, lean into the textures, and play at 4K or whatever. Or you can do performance mode, which is what I do, and it runs towards 60. Oh man, it feels so good. It's the only way for me to play. Now again, that's just me. I'm not saying wrong to play the other one.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is the same thing where it's like there's a performance mode versus...
Same thing with Forza. Like,
Yeah,
you
Final
can,
Fantasy had something
most
like
games
that.
you
do.
can play 4K 30 or 1080p 60, and I on Forza...
Anytime you can get 60 on a fast game.
Yeah.
See, for me, the bigger thing is HDR, which I can't believe is
Forza,
standard now. Like, Kingdom Hearts does not have HDR. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because this game's beautiful, but then it's like there's bloom left and right. It's like when there's the sun, everything's just like the same thing. I'm like, guys, we have seen so much better things.
I have to address this because Ignacio Rojas said this several times.
Don't let him fuck with you.
Don't ever address anything he says.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can address what he's saying, but he's gonna fuck with you.
Yes.
He's one of your loyal supporters. I will.
No, I love him.
Yeah.
He's great.
But meaning he's probably just
I'm
trying.
over him.
But keeps just let me say it. Keep saying stop pretending you can see the difference between 30 and 60, which is painfully easy for anybody to see
any human
if
being.
you're into it. But
Now,
I guess he's just trolling me.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't think
the one
I
thing
can.
I can't tell is
Okay.
like 120 hertz from 240 hertz. That's where it's like.
That is hard.
But you hear, because I watch a lot of pro Overwatch streamers play, and even Fredo, who says
can't.
like, I can't play a game if it's not at 120 hertz anymore.
Sure.
Like,
that's true. They actually say, because you can't judge how much the human eye can process. Obviously, you can take feedback on people. Can they see a difference? I've heard a lot that somewhere around the 70 to 80 mark is where a lot of the human eye like caps out. Now, the difference when you go into higher hertz, remember, is that the idea of a higher hertz monitor is that it catches every frame. So sometimes, right, a frame doesn't come in completely. So meaning playing at 240 hertz at something that's pumping out, I'd say 120 frames a second, is awesome, even if you're not running 240 frames. So meaning I support that idea for an esports player.
Yeah.
I don't need the extra frame. I'm going to die anyway. Fredo, he might need that extra frame. Or to pretend like he needs it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin introduced me to a few, when I first started here, to Linus from Linus Tech Tips.
Tech Tips.
Oh, Linus is great, man.
I loved his. He did a video maybe a month or two ago, where he had 3 monitors up, and he had a 1080p, 240 hertz.
Yeah.
He had a 1440p.
Yeah.
120
4K.
or whatever, and then he had a 4K running at I think 30 or 60 or something like that.
Yeah,
and he was
30.
just asking like kind of random employees of his like, which one do you think looks better to your eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it running like game footage? Or
Yeah,
like...
they were all playing Doom. They were playing not the original Doom. Huh?
He wasn't playing Crisis.
No, it was Doom.
So did he like split the signal and like in real time they were just?
Oh
like...
no, he had 3 PCs.
Oh,
he had
you
3
went-
like super powerful PCs.
But you had to go back to back. You couldn't do it all.
Oh
at
no,
once.
no, he was just looking like they would move here.
Right, but it wasn't the same output.
What was
signal.
the
Still?
consensus?
It was super mixed. Like some
Yeah?
people were
I mean,
like,
I
I,
get
love
it.
how crisp this looks. This looks gorgeous because it was like the 4K running
Yeah.
at 30 or whatever. Or I think it was 4K 60, but then they had like 1440p 120, and then they had 1080 240.
Yeah.
Every single game that because I have
240 is
my
overkill.
I have my OLED TV, I have my PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, like my PC's good. Whenever I play games, I always just go into the options and I try both out because I do feel like I flip between it depending on what the game is of what I'd prefer, whether it's frame rate or
I do notice with HDR you get a little bit of input lag, and that's the one thing that kind of drags me away from using HDR on when gaming with a console like on my TV. And
I mean, I don't know what TV you have, but like, there's a ton of YouTube videos of changing the settings with game mode with HDR to like get that latency down.
They've gotten better for sure, but I remember the first time that we played Everybody's Golf on this TV, where it broadcasts in HDR immediately.
Is Everybody's Golf in HDR?
Yeah,
Holy
and
shit.
when we all sat down here and we were like, duh, and the thing marker moves over, and we're like, why am I late on all my shots?
It's like playing music games on the.
You can't.
Oh, it's a disaster.
You're hitting before it hits.
Like, all our stuff is also going through a bunch of
Splitters
switches and
So it's your fault, Kevin.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, too much splitting.
Andrew Francis says I gotta save up and buy a goddamn OLED TV. You do. There's an amazing sale going on right now
LG?
at Walmart for LG's OLEDs. You can get the 65-inch one for what did I tell you, Kev? $1,700.
Yep.
$1,700. They're usually $3K. So that's
I'm telling you,
Dude, LG is like a no-brainer. Get the B. It's the B7 or C7 if you can get it.
Well, now it's 8. B8, C8.
Oh yeah.
B8,
Well, if they're on
G8.
sale, meaning I wasn't.
Yeah,
The 8s
they're
are on
all
sale,
good.
I guess. Whatever.
Dude,
the 8s
all
are
of them
on
though.
sale,
Any of those. I have a
I don't remember
Sony.
which one it was.
I can't recommend more. Like if you're more of a budget conscious person and you don't have that sort of cash to spend,
Save.
the Vizio P series that I bought, which is like super highly ranked on ratings.com.
Oh yeah, the Vizio P OS. Is that the?
Yes. I think it's like $650 or some shit like that.
Oh,
And
really?
it
Their
came down-
prices
That's a
are
great
good.
gateway for sure.
It's like it's a gorgeous TV. I've been super happy with my purchase. I'm really happy.
When
I
did you
went
get
with
that?
it. Like last. I don't know.
Like
It
in
was-
other words, you think it's a 2018 or a 2017?
Oh, it's a 2018 model.
2018. Okay.
Yeah, but I got it like in the summer or something like that. It's gorgeous. I've been super happy with it.
Kebab says it's crazy that Everybody's Golf has HDR and Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't. It really is, man.
Yeah.
And I get it's a small complaint, but like I've noticed it multiple times where I'm like, this game looks so good, except this is like it's missing something.
Yeah. Who's that developer? Do you guys remember Everybody's Golf? I
Everybody's
recall them
Sony.
being pretty
Sony's
solid.
That game
like,
called-
cred,
we were
though.
supposed to do a party mode of that, and we created all of us in the game,
Everybody's Golf is
and we
great.
made Nick the child's body.
Yeah.
So it's like
What-
a
why
human-
didn't we never do it?
I don't know. It's just
time.
time, man. You know,
Go
that's
back to
time
it.
gets in the way.
Nanobiologist said, Tim, did you enjoy the sailing aspect of the Pirates world in Kingdom Hearts 3? I actually really did. And going back to, I take back what I said earlier. I actually think Pirates was my favorite world.
That's your favorite world.
in Kingdom Hearts. There's a thing where you have to collect these crabs, and I knew we were gearing up for it, where it's like you're doing
Clap
some
hands.
stuff and you got a fucking crab, and I was like, oh, they're about to make me collect some of these, and then Donald's all like, we need more of the crabs, and I'm like, great, and then it's like, and then the menu thing came up, and it's like, you'll see how many crabs you need to collect, and I was like, okay, cool, maybe like 30 crabs, like that, whatever. It pops up 300, and I'm like, I need to get 300, fuck, and I just tweeted out 300 crabs, and I got so many responses.
Oh, I bet. Brilliant. Chance Carter was asking about, or saying like, yo, 8K was just showcased at CES and 4K will drop. We got to remember, nobody's
8K.
producing. It doesn't matter because nobody's even making 4K content overall. I mean, it's coming. You're not going to be living in an 8K world anytime soon.
Mike says I have the KS8000 like almost everybody else. The KS8000 is
Samsung.
It
Yeah.
is the best.
That's
gaming. It's the like
one of the most
best TV
affordable-
for most gamers. I would
Yes,
say.
it's got a game mode, pretty good lag. It's super affordable now. It's pretty old now though.
Hard
it's
to
like a
find
20
now.
Hey,
It's hard to find, but
17.
it's still great.
Chelsea, can you tell Chance the TV? Because Chelsea says we got the Vizio based on recommendation, Andy. We love it. And Chance asked, can you repeat that name? So Chelsea, can you and Chance?
I just repeated his name for something else.
Oh yeah,
It was coincidence though.
Yeah.
That was the comment before.
I love my TV.
Wasted bandwidth hates Donald's voice. I
Dude,
assume not your
If
version
you
of it.
turn the subtitles off
Yeah.
for Donald, you'll have no idea what the fuck
Really?
to say. Because it's gibberish gobbledygook
Yeah.
of the darkness and the light and the keys and the this and the that.
Oh, yeah, 'cause the script doesn't make sense either.
And you're just like,
you
what the
can't
hell did you
understand-
just say?
You can't understand him, and the script makes no sense. Yeah, I could imagine that being a problem.
So funny.
Wait, Demetrius in the chat say, wait, no, that was not Demetrius. K-Babs.
Kebab says wrong. War of the Planet of the Apes. Okay,
It was shot in 8K,
if you want to
but it
talk
was-
8K, here's the deal. The point is streaming that stuff.
You can watch
to
that
you
one
in
movie.
8K. Playing but playing.
It never came out in 8K anywhere.
Tons, by the way, tons of stuff has been shot in super high format, high quality format.
Future-proofing.
What, 75, 72, that converts great to 8K. There's awesome Blu-rays you can get that are down converted. But the point is to watch it in 8K is almost like pointless. But it's just too much bandwidth.
How do we
4K is
feel-
amazing when it's fully mastered at a high bit rate, and you're not going to get that on Netflix.
How do we feel about all these old movies, like even the Disney classics coming out in 4K? Like, obviously, you're not getting the fidelity, but like
Unless-
HDR, like
No, you do.
they're
Yeah.
getting crisper. What? Do you,
Yeah, dude.
They're
'Cause
remastering
it's from
stuff,
the
right?
original film. Like it's like
But I think they touch them up too. They
they
take
do.
out all the
Dude,
noise.
They look great. I mean, here's the thing: they're not in 4K yet, so like that hasn't happened yet.
What
But
I will
they're
say-
on Blu-ray.
But older movies can get, like, I was just talking to Nick about this, right? Like
Yeah.
last week, where like the projector, like you can use the old film, and that can be
It's essentially
upscaled.
vectors.
Well, for
It's all
animation.
vectors.
Yeah, for
No,
animation,
Yes.
just animation, not
That's
for live
actually
action.
animation is
Oh, wait, I
amazing.
thought live action was the case as well.
Well, you can use film. So what I was getting at is film doesn't have like a resolution. It's got a
Right.
film density.
Yeah.
So up like 35 converts pretty well. especially
Live
when it's
action you
touched up.
can, but the thing with live action is the retouching is a lot more
Oh, it's way more
complicated. It's not so much just a process that you can just get out. Like with animation, it is.
You know what's interesting is my, and I'm sure the LGs do it as well, my Sony up converts 4K for like 1080p, right? But it has all this live real-time processing. So when I play stuff like Family Guy and like flat color stuff that doesn't have a lot of noise, it looks 4K. And kind of to your point, they actually spend the time to just go back, clean up the noise. Well, because it's flat overall. There's not
Watching
like
Lion King
complicated-
in 1080 it's breathtaking, man. It's like
Just in
holy shit,
1080.
it looks so because it's not in 4K yet.
It's not in
Like,
4K
None of the
yet,
Disney
no.
movies are 4K
It's in the
yet.
vault. You got to get it out of the
Yeah.
vault.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
I could have sworn there was some animated movies coming out.
Watching Pinocchio though, you're like, which is the 50s,
Yeah.
right? It's
I'm sure
still
it looks
so fucking impressive in 1080 because you just see it and like it's hand drawn, so it's like
Well, think about it,
there's
you
a
just-
gorgeous quality to it. But you're talking about the new stuff, yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah, I'm talking about new stuff. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, that'll be in 4K.
like, but like the
CG stuff though, there's
the
no.
because
yeah,
I've even
CG
noticed
can be
I've
whatever
even
you
noticed a
want
lot
it to
of like the Marvel movies. A lot of the MCU movies don't look great. They don't look crisp. They don't
Because a lot of them weren't shot in 4K.
Yeah, exactly.
If they
yeah,
were on
they're like 2K normally, right?
Yeah.
Depends on so depends on if they were shot on film. I assume they were all digital, but then yeah, obviously
Wait, 2K is 4K, isn't it?
no,
No.
No,
2K
2K
is just 2K.
Yeah.
2K is half of 4K, right?
But
So
like, isn't
1080
that weird in the sense that like, 2K is 1080, correct?
No, it's more than it's
not.
two. It's double.
Technically more, but that's
It's-
because aspect ratio and shit gets weird
Well,
with
So-
like,
I thought it was people grabbing the 1920 by 1080 and then grabbing the 1920 part and calling that.
No.
No.
It actually is 1440 by whatever,
Yeah.
right? Usually, there's all these different resolutions, QHD, UHD. But all you got to remember with this crazy resolution talk is you got to think pixel density. So 1920 times 1080, that's true 1080p, 1920 by 1080, multiply those together, that's how many freaking pixels there are. So when you go to 4K, it's 4 times those pixels. So you're actually 4 1080p signals in terms of the density. And so that's what makes it amazing.
Yeah.
I think people sometimes see the 4K and they think like Kevin, they're like, I don't know, it's probably twice as good. And they're like, no,
No,
it's,
I knew it was 4 times.
Yeah, but I'm just using it as an example, Kevin. Like,
Okay, well.
That's why
Not saying you-
that's why when movies have
love it.
IMAX scenes, they are incredible.
oh my God. Because
The
that's shot
Dark
on
Knight.
film that's twice as dense.
Yeah, the
basically.
like I guess the 70mm or whatever, like the Nolan movies.
Nolan movies are beautiful.
Like so we bought my dad a 4K Blu-ray player for Christmas like 2 Christmases ago, and we bought him Arrival, we bought him Spider-Man: Homecoming, and we bought him Dunkirk. And we played the first 2 movies, and the HDR is nice and the colors look gorgeous or whatever, but they still just weren't really shot at a high fidelity or whatever. But Dunkirk, we put that in, it's like, this looks like the demos that you see when they show at Best Buy. It's like you could see all the little tiny details everywhere. It looks
because
gorgeous.
that was shot
Yeah.
on IMAX cameras.
Yeah.
For a lot of it.
It's
Or-
gorgeous, man.
It's not all
I
of
think
it.
all of it. No, all of it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and that.
Wait, was it all of it?
Oh no, they switched
No.
to
Yeah,
widescreen
it's not.
format.
Avengers: Infinity War was the first movie to be shot entirely in IMAX, although it wasn't in IMAX format. Yeah,
Really?
Dumb.
first full movie. Yeah,
Wait, did they use the full square?
If you watch it,
watch
I watched
thing
Avengers: Infinity War in IMAX.
So you have the tall, and they rendered
But I bought
everything.
it. I bought it on
Crap.
4K, and
It doesn't have it on the 4K.
fucking-
That's what we're talking about here. Of
So
like,
lame.
There's so much bullshit ass
Yeah.
things. But yeah, no. It's,
so Mission Impossible Fallout, I bought that in 4K, and that like again looks normal. It looks like a DVD when you're playing it, but then when they cut to the IMAX shot, it's like holy shit, this
It
is
definitely is
incredible.
Oh, it's a world
Yeah.
that, like the color and the density of like what's coming through. It literally is so much more.
The
cool. I
helicopter
remember-
scene.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
Just I
Tom,
remember
you're crazy, Tom.
Yeah, Dark Knight. Like
Yeah.
I already appreciated IMAX, but like
That
when I was
opening
watching-
scene.
Oh my god! Like it was sort of like regular. It looked good and all, but it's a little soft on that screen, frankly, for that screen size. So you get into it. And as soon as it went to the true Chicago, I'm from Chicago, went to that shot flying, I was like, oh my god, it
Yeah.
looks so amazing. And then
Yeah.
you're left like, why don't they shoot everything like this? Well, because
This
it's
is
freaking
4K.
expensive.
and the cameras
Are heavy
huge.
as
They're
shit.
hard to use. Yeah, like Transformers.
Figure it out. Hire a
2.
strong guy. Come on.
Transformers 2 had a ton of shots that were in IMAX, and like it made the fight scenes look epic and awesome. The
love
forest fight was so fucking good because of that.
Infinity War is all shot in that tall.
Dude,
That's blew
the
my mind.
entire movie of Infinity War I saw in IMAX at Metreon, and it was the whole fucking thing.
So I refuse to watch it until I can watch it like that. I still haven't watched it, you know.
What?
I know. I thought you knew this. They spoiled the ending for me on Fire Team chat. I thought you knew this, Tim.
I
We
feel like
talked about
yeah, and it upset me
sort
then,
of.
I'm
Even-
sure.
He's
Like,
crumbling.
oh my God,
I'm sure.
it's
oh,
so
chat is-
upsetting.
I'll tell you why. I am. You know me. I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So like I got to have the right place to watch it, like we're talking about. But I also have to be totally caught up. It's got to be fresh. I mean, there's so much going on, man. I'm not ready for
there's
Endgame. I'll say
nothing
that.
going on more important than the MCU in pop culture.
Also, we did a whole
Period.
show
We
on it.
You should find that list of links you were telling me. Like, here's what you should watch through in order or whatever.
There's a perfect list. It's
yeah.
kindoffunny.com. MCU in review. You can just look at the movies we watched in the order we did.
Wait, do you have it on like web text?
Yeah,
Or is it?
go to the.
I mean, it's not rocket science.
Wait,
Like,
no, go to
the movies
Infinity
came out
War.
in an order.
Go to the Infinity War, and
No, but-
in the description, it's got the
Yeah.
the
So you don't.
movies.
So you don't think you should change the order up at all?
No.
Okay, so don't
Never
change the
do
order
that.
up, but
Why would
watch
you
them
do that?
all.
What was the last one you watched?
He just watched a smattering here
No,
and there.
I mean, I'm trying to remember. It was Guardians for sure. I watched that.
Pretty good movie.
Guardians
Captain America 2 or 3. I forget if I saw both.
Both really good.
1. Civil War is Captain America.
I saw
Winter-
Civil War.
Winter
No,
Soldier,
I didn't see
definitive.
Civil War.
Okay, he's pretty.
So Winter
he's
Soldier,
behind.
I'm quite behind.
You suck.
Quite behind. You know what? Destiny requires a lot of hours, okay? And now Frantham out there and Division. I'm in trouble, man.
Just stream yourself live watching
Watching.
all of the movies.
We
You
talked
should.
about this, and Tim was like, "You should just do it."
Just
I'm like,
do
"What?"
it.
Like, you can use that service Rabbit, and people
There's a
can like.
ton of services. Do a watch along. Tell people, hey, cue it up. We're gonna watch this all together, leading
play
into
right
Endgame.
now.
I would love to, but
If
then
you
it's just the
started 2
camera
months
on my
ago,
face.
you could have it lead directly into.
What, you can't do it anymore? I've
Well, you
missed
could.
the
Now
window.
you don't have to watch more than one a week.
It comes out in May, I assume, right?
April 26th.
Second.
Dude, just watch
26.
3
Almost the
movies.
same time as
It's
Days
not
Gone.
a big deal.
It
So
is a
many
big
of
deal.
them.
These are hours
No, I'm
upon
saying,
hours.
watch
And now
for a
Endgame's
week.
going to be like 4.5 hours long. Like,
Good.
man,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Injected
I gotta
into
go.
my veins.
Okay. Tim forgot about this great dishonor.
I
He's
mean, no,
tired.
it's like I almost wish I was you to be able to. Like,
Yeah. Do you
like,
want
To recreate it.
That's the
watch it
greatest
all.
You have
compliment,
no
Tim.
understanding
Again,
of how
the
good
first-
Phase 3 is. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's
man.
funny. I've seen some of the good stuff, but I've not seen the culmination of the good
The
stuff.
Phase
Did you
3,
Ragnarok?
No.
dude. That's,
Spiking the mic, Andy.
the last, I'd say, 10 movies are just like
Everyone's like,
hit
you
after
have to watch
hit after
Ragnarok.
hit, man.
And I love the Thor movies. Portman
What?
does Portman make an appearance?
Isn't,
does not.
hey,
Not
do you
the-
think Thor 1 is better than Incredible Hulk?
Which Incredible Hulk?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, which
We
one?
love you guys. We'll see you later. Bye.